Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast brought to you by Another Happy Studios. This week we've got a new companion, a new TARDIS, so let's crack on, because time waits for Snowmen.
Hello everyone, welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast, the only one that exists in the world. There were no others that exist, or maybe there are, I don't know, I can't really keep up anymore. My name is Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful companion as we go on this fantastic adventure through time and space and rewatch all of Doctor Who. Hello, Lawrence.
Hello. That sounded like you were going to carry on with something else there.
Well, maybe I was, maybe I wasn't, but look, alright. What was that? I don't even know what that was.
That was a pun. I committed to puns. I did a pun.
Oh, we're back on puns?
Wait, were we off puns?
I thought you was debuting something new.
No. After the Christmas special is when I will declare I can declare my New Year's resolution now, but that comes after Christmas, doesn't it?
Oh, okay.
That's a New Year thing.
See, I got excited. I thought you was about to debut a fucking a limerick or a riddle or what? I don't know. But
is that why you look so bemused?
Yeah, that's why I was very confused. I was like, what did he do? Did he change at all?
He's just served me more of the same.
Am I having a stroke? What's going on?
I can reveal, if anyone's interested, I can reveal what I'm committing to in the new year, which is obviously any episode after the next episode of Still Got Legs. Is this podcast inaccessible?
Yeah.
I just heard myself talking then and went, hang on.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
All right. Well, that's why we have the backlog, so they can go and listen.
You can catch up. Do you want to reveal?
Yeah, so what I'm going to be doing is people were curious whether I was going to do riddles, whether I was going to do limericks, or poems. Poems was one I floated out today.
Was people curious? I haven't seen much chatter about this.
There wasn't a lot of chatter. I'll be honest, this is largely a segment for me.
Okay.
Look, if you don't do it for yourself, who'd you do it for?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna be merging into the intro format of freestyle rap.
Seriously?
Yeah, 100%. What struck me with it is the idea that I hate writing these intros, right? I fucking hate it, right? And I like the idea of no preparation being the only preparation I need.
This is going to go horribly wrong.
My name is Clara, and I'm here to say...
No! Lawrence, you're not good at improv.
But that's why it's going to be a real adventure, and I'm like to push myself on this show, all right?
Oh,
broaden my horizons.
Oh, this is going to be a disaster.
I knew you'd say as much.
And also, again, you have like 5 seconds to put in there, all right? Look, every single one cannot be my name is whoever and I'm here to say, okay?
Oh, damn it.
All right? You can use that once and then that's it.
All right, well, that'll be the first one. The ones after it might be like, you know, at the beginning of freestyles where they go like, where they're thinking of something and they're assessing the beat and they go, yeah.
So it'll just be you going, yeah.
It depends. It depends if I'm having I can't prepare it. I can't tell you what they're going to be. All right?
This is going to be fucking horrible. All right, well...
And the stipulation for anyone new is I have to stick with this until the next Christmas special of Doctor Who.
Again, a rule you've enforced entirely upon yourself.
This is a me segment.
No one else ever had anything to do with this. You keep backing yourself into these corners that no one is asking you to do.
But that's when people's best work comes out, Nathan, when they're put in a box and they have to... No, that's actually the worst. That's not true at all.
Yeah, no, that's not how that works.
Right, never mind. How are you?
I'm okay. Do you know what I did today?
You got well rested. I know that for sure.
All right, calm down. All right. Here's what I did. All right. I had a workout this morning.
Yeah.
And then I immediately ate a full pack of those chocolate lesbian biscuits afterwards.
Sorry, hang on. A couple of things. One, what is a chocolate lesbian biscuit?
You don't know those lesbian biscuits?
What? No. What
they're
is
like little squares of biscuit, and then they got the chocolate on top.
Are they referred to as lesbian biscuits?
Well, no, they're called like chocolate lesbians or something. I don't know.
So it's a word that includes L and E.
No, it's everyone calls them lesbian biscuits.
I can't say
because it kind of looks like lesbian.
Right, okay. And why would you eat that after a workout?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, so you're like, oh, whatever, I did that.
Just cancelled itself out entirely, didn't it, really?
Probably and some, if I'm honest.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But there we go. Well, there's only like 6 of them in a packet, but like...
Yeah, I get, like, also, it's still good that you did the workout, because at least you lost some before you put some on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
So, like, it doesn't entirely negate it.
All right, great. Anyway.
I just wanted to add a positive spin.
All right, great.
What else have you been up to today?
I've been up to doing this podcast. Let's get into it, all right?
All right, fine. We'll get into it. Nathan, general thoughts on what we're discussing and all of that stuff.
Lawrence, this is episode 94, I think, of Still Got Legs and Doctor Who. It is season 7, episode 6, written by Stephen Moffat, directed by Saul Metzstein. It is The Snowmen, a Christmas special for the ages. Lawrence, do you want to build a snowman?
Not if it's going to turn out like this.
Or ride our bikes around the hall?
Yes, please continue.
I never see you anymore. Come out the door. Something else.
See, this is a good scenario where I could have tried out a freestyle rap.
We used to be best buddies.
Best buddies, yeah.
And now... Great. There's a little tease of what we're in for. He just repeats what someone else says and then adds a yeah on the end of it. That's the freestyle, everyone.
I never said I'd be good at it. I just said I could do it, all right?
Oh.
My name is Clara and I'm here to say...
Oh, I'm fucking dreading this.
So am I, if I'm honest. I already regret it.
Then why do it? You don't need to do it.
I said it. I'm a man of my honour, all right?
This is going to be... I reckon you're going to get 1 week into this and then go, I regret this so much. Yeah. I don't want to change it.
You might be right, but we'll see how that goes, all right?
This isn't another happy pod, all right? This isn't the place to experiment with dumb shit like this, all right? This is the main one, all right?
Yeah, but maybe I'm bringing some of that classic Another Happy Pod flair, all right?
Well, it doesn't work on Another Happy Pod, does it?
Clearly not, no.
Clearly not.
Oh, God, it's got nothing to do with the fact that we've done 13 weeks of X-Men. That's nothing to do with it.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, what do you think of the episode?
What do you think of the episode, Lawrence? General thoughts on the Snowmen. Do you want to build one?
I do. Firstly, I do want to build one. Secondly, it's a pretty enjoyable episode. I think it's got like some standout moments. I like it. I don't think the villain's all that interesting, but I like Richard E. Grant enough to carry it, if that makes sense. But I like that it's more focused on introducing a new companion, sort of, and a nice little look in on how the Doctor is doing post great tragedy and great loss. And there's loads of fun side characters to fill the screen. So yeah, I had a good time with it. It's fun Christmas vibes.
Fuck you.
Why?
This is a banger. All right.
Oh, okay. I said it was pretty enjoyable. I don't.
Yeah. So fuck you. All right.
Okay, just different terminology.
This is a certified banger of an episode. It's great. What more do you need? You got a depressed Doctor in a Christmas outfit. You got a period setting. You've got peak design, which we will get into.
Yeah.
You've got fun new characters, returning characters, comedic roles, an ice lady, snowmen, Gandalf, Richard E. Grant. It's got it all, mate. What more do you want? A quote from Game of Thrones, Sherlock Holmes. All right, it's all here. Okay,
that's all here. That's all it needs.
2 Sherlock Holmes parodies in 1 episode. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What more do you want?
I don't want much more. Like I said, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was pretty fun.
It was amazing.
All right. Do you want to get into it?
I'm having a great time. Lawrence, I'd love nothing more than to get into it.
All right. Let's take it away. What's your first note?
Lawrence, my first note is that it's snowing and there's a little...
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
That's not your note. You don't have a note?
Oh, but you see, you couldn't even let me get through because you saw that I was doing it correctly and you were like, I got to put a stop to this. All right?
It ruins my joke.
Yeah. You saw that I'm competent.
This is not yes and. This is no, give me the spotlight, all right?
No, fuck you, all right? It's snowing, Lawrence. There's a little snowflake, but it's got a weird little mouth in it, like...
It has a little hiss at us, doesn't it?
Yeah, gives you a little bite at the camera. Bit of fun.
When I first switched this on, I wasn't quite sure if it was like actually hissing or whether it was just a kind of a weird little snarling mouth. And I was like, maybe that was just an odd little sound effect. And I was like, oh no, a snowflake is hissing at me.
It's less of a hiss and more a bite. It's biting, that is.
Oh, I guess so. It's gnawing, isn't it? Like, Good stuff.
Doing one of
Could
those.
you tell us what year we pick up in England, Nathan?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute.
No, that's not fair.
Yeah.
It's 1842. I did it again.
Ah, bloody hell. Lawrence is 1842.
Yeah.
There's a little boy. He's a little lonely boy, all right? And he's building a snowman because he wants to build a snowman. Okay, get ready for that joke. It's going to come up a lot, all right?
Fuck, it's already three times now.
Yes. Anyway, he's a little lonely boy. His parents are like, oh, he's weird. Why is he so weird?
What a
Because he's a
freak.
little lonely boy. He's a fucking freak.
All his
all
mates
right?
are snowmen. L on this
Can you
little
imagine a
stupid
boy? Can you imagine a boy being alone? What a fucking freak he is. All right. Anyway, he's a little lonely boy, and then his snowman starts talking to him, but his snowman is Gandalf.
His snowman is Gandalf. Immediately
Yeah.
flocked it. I was like, that's fucking Ian
How
McKellen.
can you not? That's he's got an incredibly recognizable voice.
Or something
No.
he says.
What? He says, actually, I think you'll find he says, Bilbo Baggins. Bilbo Baggins. I'm looking for someone to share an adventure.
That's what. Technically, that's not incorrect. That is what the
It's
snowman
true.
is after. To be fair.
And that adventure is world domination.
Yes. So he goes. The little boy hears it and he's like, "Oh, fucking, I want none of this." Turns around to fuck off,
Yeah.
and the snowman's like, "No," or whatever he
So,
says.
oh, yeah.
None of this.
Anyway, then the little boy is older and he's Richard E. Grant. All right.
They do that
which is
classic
great.
cut where it's like it does a
Yeah.
little crossfade on someone and I'm like, oh, now they're old.
And you know I'm a big fan of Richard E. Grant, all right? I'm loving Richard E. Grant showing up in anything. Kills it, always, okay?
Yeah.
And then he's like talking, the snow is now a big ball, all right?
Yeah,
Yeah, isn't a big, like, I don't know, glass ball, I guess.
little thing.
Yeah. And he's
It's like a
giving
snow
it...
globe, isn't it?
He is. Well, he's got, like, dudes out working for him, collecting snow or some shit.
Yeah.
And then I guess he's feeding that to the ball. Kind of pissed me off how unfilled those jars were. Did you notice this?
Yeah, they were like all proper half filled, and then some guys locking
Yeah.
up like, "Great job by me."
What are you doing, man? How many of these jars you got? All right? Resource management. Okay?
That is
you want to
so
fill
true.
those boys up.
If all of them are taking cues from this bloke, then we're left to
Yeah.
assume that 50% of the produce will be ruined.
This is outrageous. Can't stand for this. Well, that's the Victorians for you.
And also, that's
Anyway.
50% when it's all like in its form of you've just thrown it in there. When you flatten that down, that's 30% at best.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll melt, maybe. Unless it's magic snow. Hope it's not magic snow.
I feel like if there was ever magic snow, this would be magic snow.
That was the joke, Lawrence.
Oh, it's not fair. You're not allowed to do jokes. Just me.
Anyway, so then Gandalf is like, oh, I'll kill those men. And then Richard E. Grant is like, bet. So he does.
Just give bet. All right, sick.
Bet.
No, because Gandalf's in there going, "Are we calling? Is this the thing? With
Yeah.
him? Is it okay?"
Yeah. I'm calling Gandalf.
He's going, "A great storm approaches," and then he's
You
like,
can't do it. You can't do it.
"Oh, we're gonna do it every time." If you call him Gandalf, I have to do this.
I can do it, but I can only say Bilbo Baggins. That's the only way I can
That's
do it.
what
in a
everyone can
impression.
say.
I know, but that's the best way to get into it. Bilbo Baggins.
That's not saying I can do a Trump impression, but all I can say is huge. All right,
Huge.
Yeah, we all know. Everyone
Huge.
can do huge. All right. No, so he's like, "Oh, a great storm approaches, and keep my secrets, please." So he's got secrets. This big snowball.
It's going to get really exhausting if you can do that impression every time.
He doesn't talk that much. All right.
But still. You know.
Long stretches without this without this voice will be fine.
Right.
But yes, no, you're right. He does. It's a bit of a forced line, but it is funny. The Richard E. Grant's like, "I'll feed you guys," and the guy's like, "Where's the food?" And he's like, "No, I said I'd feed you guys. I didn't say who I'd feed you to."
With the L, he says.
But that's
Get
not
wrecked.
what that means.
And then he hits the griddy on them.
But why is he's even pulling that bravado with the snow globe, man, with Gandalf?
This is all fucking nonsense. Who cares about any of this? It's all just like,
Yeah.
you know, we've said this before in the cold open. It's all just about vibes and tone and shit. It doesn't matter hugely, all right?
Does not.
But,
There's no
like-
reason why the snow does not need to eat again for the rest of the episode. Like,
No, it's fine, but whatever. But like, what always strikes me as like funny is the way this guy goes like, we're all a bit hungry. There's no fucking food here. What's going on? You know? And he's like, you're in an alleyway. Do you not think that you might be brought into the house? And then, like, he's like, I don't see any chicken. Oh, what's going on? You know?
Blood was going to set a fucking banquet outside.
I mean, to be fair, he was right to be paranoid because he then was eaten by a snowman, all right?
Yeah, but
does he want to build one? Who knows? But, like, but still, you know, just wait a second, brother.
I'm going to fall on the side of Gandalf and Richard E. Grant here, because if my man's was out here filling snow half-full jars, right, he doesn't deserve a banquet for kings, does he?
Well, there we go. That's Lawrence's view on the working man, it seems.
Fine, I always hate that you spin it back. Anyway, did you have a rose and crown? I did.
Did I have a rose and crown?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
Ever at the pub?
No, I don't think so. I had a magnet.
Magnet?
And a magnet, yeah.
A pub called Magnet?
Yeah, the Magnet, yeah. It's one of the most popular pub names in the UK.
Is it? I've never seen that anywhere.
Yeah, comes up quite a lot.
The Magnet.
Had a king's head. Everywhere has a king's head.
Yeah. Queen's arms.
A black bear.
Oh, okay. I had a black horse.
Okay. Bridgend Inn. I used to work there.
Nice. People could narrow this down and very quickly find out where we grew up.
No, we can't.
Oh, yeah, true. Most popular pub names in the UK, yeah.
Yeah. It could be any one of like 1,200 cities, probably.
That's fair. Yeah, I had a little rose and crown, but more importantly, so did one Clara.
Love this music.
Is this a theme that will return, is it?
Yeah, it's Clara's theme.
Okay, see, I don't know this. I'm in uncharted waters here.
All right.
Sorry.
Hey, Lawrence, Clara's back, all right?
She's not a Dalek anymore. Can you believe
she's
it?
not a Dalek. I know. So she survived. This is, again, confusing times for us. I never know how to approach this. Like,
right.
We already said last time it was Clara, didn't we?
Yeah, it is Clara. We know it.
It's
Everyone
Clara.
knows it. If you're listening to a Doctor Who podcast, you have this knowledge, at least.
And she goes by Clara this time as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Last time we saw her, she was Oswin Oswald, Junior Entertainment Manager, Starship Alaska. All right. This time she's Clara Oswin.
Yes.
Sweet little Clara works at the Rose and Crown. Ideas way above her station. You know. And she's got a fun little accent that Jenna Coleman does not have.
Yeah, she's got a fun little Cockney voice. What do you reckon about it? A bit too East End, or are you happy with this?
It's a bit East End, but I don't mind it. It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
It is.
Why not do a fun little accent in a fun little TV show?
And she flexes. She's doing an imposter a bit later on, and she's stretching out another voice. So
she's having fun. She's stretching those chops, as it were. She's getting a chance to flex.
She's not. She's in a red dress, but it's a different fetching red dress this time, a Victorian piece, if you will.
In the script, it's described. Clara's described. Is Clara young, sexy, so cheeky, Nancy and Oliver.
My note said doing a Nancy from Oliver.
yeah, it's good. Anyway,
did
the point
Stephen
is,
Moffat write in that she was sexy?
Yeah.
Never.
I think that's fair.
He's never beaten them one-hand allegations, has he?
That's fair to write in a script if you're describing a character.
I always find it strange. Like I saw someone bring this up on Twitter the other day, right? Like if your script is like I'm writing a movie and suddenly the world's fattest, most gluttonous, greedy, horrendous-looking individual walks in, you have to cast that role eventually. How do people's feelings not get hurt with this? Yes, I got cast as enormous, disgusting man or something.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Hollywood is already fat phobic. You know that.
That is very true. Yeah,
and that horrible, disgusting, gluttonous, outrageously overweight man will be about 13 stone. Okay,
that's fair. Yeah.
So he'll have a little bit of a pot belly. All right, he just won't have incredible abs and a little bit of a pot belly, and then they'll put him next to Chris Hemsworth or something.
Yeah,
and then be like, look at this fat.
Look at this disgrace of a man.
Exactly.
How does this man leave the house?
This is outrageous.
Nancy from Oliver is absolutely right. She's smashing it straight out of the gate. She's got charisma for days. She's looking great.
Yeah, I'm barking.
I'm barking too, but mine's a bit later on. I was going to give her a respectful intro.
You're not allowed, all right?
Why?
Back off, all right?
Oh, shit, all right. Fuck it up.
Back off, Lawrence.
So there's a snowman with a scary face just outside the pub. And a familiar-looking friend walks past, and we find out that this individual skulking in the shadows is, in fact, the Doctor in his Victorian drip.
I was going to say a familiar-looking friend. I would say quite a friend who is looking unfamiliar.
Well,
I would say.
I recognise that strut anywhere and that stature.
All right, I more recognise the voice and the face, but all right.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I did see that as well, I thought,
Yeah,
that looks like Matt Smith as the Doctor.
that's who it is.
What do you think of his look? Suit talk?
Oh, we didn't do. Have we got to titles yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, great. I like the look. I like this like Scrooge-esque sort of look he's going for. He's ditched the bow tie. He's ditched the beige jacket. He's got a little Victorian era outfit on, a purple sort of coat, a top hat, a little. What do you call those kind of ties? Like a little.
They're like I know exactly what you mean. They're not a cravat or a cravat?
No, it's not a cravat. No, a cravat's like a thick boy. I don't know what it is, but it's like a old timey tie. Yeah, whatever.
He's looking quite fresh though. To be fair.
What? No, I don't think he's. Well, it depends on your definition of fresh, because I would say like this is purposefully not a fresh look. It's purposefully a little bit raggedy, to use a term. But it's a little bit scruffy. It's supposed to be a little bit worn and a little bit, the top hat's quite crooked and stuff. It's supposed to be a little rough. You know me,
the brown suit is my favourite 10 suit. I like a scruffy Doctor.
Ugly.
I like a thrown together piece. I think he looks very un-11, I will say, but he looks good.
And that's very intentional.
I love what they do with him.
That is very intentional. So Clara asks him if he wants to build a snowman, and he says no.
Is that what she says to play him? She goes, "Do you want to build a snowman?" He goes, "No."
Well, she says, "Did you make this snowman?" Yeah. So that's kind of the same.
And he goes, "No, I did not want to build that snowman."
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and then he I don't know, he has a look at the snowman. He has like a moment of curiosity, and then he's like, "Wait, no, I'm sad and depressed, go away." And then he walks off. And then she's like, "Hey, where are you going? We were just getting to know each other, weren't we?" And then he has like a moment, he looks back, he says, "Those were the days."
Oh, when he said that, I was just like, I remember asking you last week of like if this sadness kind of sticks with him for a while. And like as soon as he said that, I just went, "Oh man, this is sad. This is not good."
This is a 11th Doctor in his depression era, all right? He's lost his friends. Amy said to him, "Hey, don't be alone." He said, "Bet. I'm going to be the most alone a man has ever been."
Why is everyone in the Doctor Who universe suddenly saying bet and doing the opposite?
Look, I'm going to live on a fucking cloud, all right? I'm not going to talk to anyone, all right?
We'll get to the cloud. We're not there at the cloud yet, all right? That's a big reveal, all right?
Big reveal.
So Clara hears the carriage riding off and she sprints after it. I've put like she's in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I don't know why I wrote that down, but I clearly thought I was funny.
That's just one of your vague nothing references again. That's just one of your bullshit fucking corporate fucking just, here's a reference for you kids. Eat this one up.
Right, I'll be honest, I was expecting more support. I didn't have to read it out and shame myself. I knew it wasn't funny when I said it, all right?
Well, then why say it?
Because I'm transparent. I'm keeping it honest, all right? So the Doctor's chatting to someone over an intercom in his carriage. Someone green.
It's Vastra. I know Vastra's voice.
Yeah, I know, but I'm doing a bit of barking myself here.
All right, fair enough.
Woof.
Good for you.
And she's like, "You always get chatting." And he's like, "No, I fucking don't." She's like, "It will always start with the same 2 words." And he's like, "You need to shut your mouth." Anyway, what 2 words? And then Nathan stood up and applauded.
I did, for 2 reasons. One, because it's my favourite thing, which is a Doctor Who title reference in the show Doctor Who in the form of a question. But then also the fact that it's Clara saying it as well. That's 2 for the price of 1. Love it. Bit of fun. All right?
A double whammy.
We have titles. New titles. Lawrence, did you pay attention?
I did. Of course I paid attention. Come on, all right? Give me some credit, all right? When you get comfy 3 seasons in or whatever, right? And they're the same titles or whatever, yeah. I was ready and primed, all right? Okay?
But they were not the same titles.
No. All right, fine. Look, I like it. Right, do you want me to... I'm going to spam read some of my notes, right?
Sure, go for it.
Red! Red! We're weaving about. I love the colours. I love his face. I love the reddish, purplish. Love the logo disappearing into sparks. You know, the way the Doctor Who logo comes up and it goes... Yeah, that's great stuff. I really don't like, I was about to say something nasty, really don't like the TARDIS opening into the episode. It looks like a really bad unrendered green screen effect. And
that's great. That's great.
It's really bad. It looks really bad.
No, it doesn't. It looks fun. It's great.
I like the idea. I love the concept of it. It's just the way that it's like mid-motion and then stops. And like, I know what an unrendered video looks like, and it looks like that.
Man. Oh, I know this, so it's bad. Go away, man.
No, but it did. Look, I'm saying, you don't notice it looks a bit juddery when it gets to the end of it?
I don't care. It's fun.
This is not fair. You have to have some sort of subjective thing, all right?
I like it. I don't think it. Honestly, no, I don't think it looks bad.
Okay,
I don't.
All right. I'm just saying. I bet it's on YouTube. I bet I could search it on YouTube right now and find it. A green screen.
You probably could. You absolutely could.
It looks like, when we did the first Still Got Legs minisode and I animated the TARDIS a little bit shakily.
Look, yes, you could find it on YouTube now. They didn't just rip this from fucking YouTube on the day, all right?
No, but it looks... Look, what I'm saying is it looks a bit shoddy. I feel like the rest of the TARDIS stuff, when the opening of the Sting, when it comes out through the TARDIS's light and then it twirls around, that looks amazing. That looks so good.
Doctor Who looks a bit shoddy.
No, but right,
Revelation.
Oh, fuck you. Look, if this happened in RTD1's era, you'd be like, this looks like shit. All right?
No, I wouldn't. If it was this exactly, no, I wouldn't, because I like this.
All right.
I think it looks good. You have this weird thing where if it's not the best, if it's not the most perfect fucking done thing ever, then it's horrible.
No, it's just that it lets it down. The rest of it is wonderful. I really, really liked it. I thought it was a great title sequence, and then it just, the way it kind of abruptly stops and the doors open, it just looks a bit cheap, is all I'm saying.
It doesn't abruptly stop.
It does abruptly stop.
How does it abruptly stop?
Because it's twirling, and then when it gets to the thing, and I know what this is like, right? It will land on the thing. This is so boring for everyone else. It lands on the center screen, then there's like 2 keyframes where it doesn't move, and then the doors open. And it's just like, it was so fluid motion before that, and I was like, that looked a bit weird.
I don't get what you mean.
But look, you don't have to agree with me. I'm just saying, I think the doors look a bit ropey. That's it.
Does the TARDIS not usually stop before the doors open?
No, of course it does, but not in the middle of the vortex. No,
it's not in the vortex.
It is. I saw it in the vortex.
No, it's in the episode.
Nathan, let this go. I don't like the doors. They look ropey. All right, we can move on. It's fine.
I think you need to let it go.
I let it go. You can like it. You're not silly for liking it. I'm just saying I don't.
All right. Well, I think you're silly for not liking it.
Fuck's sake. So what's?
Do you like the face?
I did like the face. I said I like the face.
The face is back. It's from Classico.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. It was a thing in Classico. They put the face in there. Well, sometimes anyway.
I like that it's quite faint. It's in the background. It's just a nice little.
A little flash.
Yeah, he's looking over the universe. It looks cool. Do they keep up with the face?
Kind of.
It's just only 11 that gets a face.
No, you'll see.
Okay, we'll get to it.
Anyway, you've already pissed me off with that TARDIS.
Oh, for God's sake!
What happens next?
Oh, hang on, wait, Nathan. I'll tell you what happens next. We might just about after the some ads and some cuts get to. We just did this thing. Do the ad thing.
Here's an ad.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Here's an ad.
We try and get it in before the Sting. You know this.
Yeah, but whatever. All right, here's an ad. There we go. What a wonderful ad.
We're now back from the ads. Anyway, so Dr. Simeon, otherwise known as Richard E. Grant, he's being a proper little creep. He's like, look at this pond. This is my pond. It's lovely. You can have this pond if you like to this bloke. Well, it's actually your pond, so you can keep this pond, but there's something inside the pond that I want when it's ready or whatever, he says. As you can tell, I wrote down very detailed and extensive notes for this scene.
Great.
But then, as he's walking off, Richard E. Grant is cornered by the most fearsome lesbians you've ever seen, Nathan.
Well, just going back to Richard E. Grant at this pond and this house. You noticed anything here? You picked up on anything?
I know we've seen this house before. Was it in the last Christmas special that we did?
It was, Lawrence. It's the same house. I said it would come back. Uncle Digby, they called him. What's the little boy called in this episode? Digby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Look at you not paying attention. Too busy critiquing doors. All right.
I knew you were still salty about this. Oh, that's fun. I do like that. That's a good little laugh.
There you go.
Good on him. It's a great way of getting around, just like, yeah, we had to use the same house again. It's the only contact we've got for big houses at the minute.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
So yeah, as he's walking off, he's cornered by some lesbians, Nathan.
Something about that which just feels very homophobic from you.
What? How?
I don't know.
The truth.
I know, but there was an air of like animosity about it.
Are you joking?
No, I was like, oh, that makes me uncomfortable.
That's outrageous. Animosity. I didn't sit there and go, he's cornered by these two. Lesbians.
Okay.
I mean, I did just then, and I'm regretting doing it on a microphone, but yeah.
Yeah. Yes, so Jenny and Vestra corner him, and Richard E. Grant's like, hey, I love Sherlock Holmes. And look, Arthur Conan Doyle is probably basing Sherlock Holmes on you, all right? But look, you're a green woman.
Yeah. No, he doesn't say that. It's a great little gag. It really got me. The way he goes over and goes, what is, would these readers, would they get behind the idea of their beloved detective, and that detective being, and then you think he's going to say alien, and he goes, a woman. It's just a good little gag. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
I feel like this might be like Moffat throwing people a bone, really, because they because everyone wants Sherlock and John to kiss, all right? But like he's like, well, that can never happen, all right? So instead, I'm gonna make Sherlock a lizard woman and John another woman, and then they're going to kiss and be married.
So he's kind of making a proxy situation where he's like, oh, and these two can't kiss, but you can have these offshoots or whatever that kiss.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I didn't know that people wanted Sherlock and John to kiss. Is that like...
Are you insane?
I wasn't this online, all right, in this era.
My God. That's all people wanted from that show.
Really?
Yes.
Is there like... Well, I know there's a bit of subtext on Sherlock's part, but I'm pretty sure John's always like... shooting it down, right? Oh, but that's flirting, I guess, isn't it? No, I want to know. What did I miss?
The eyes of a straight man are truly a fascinating thing. that show is like fucking queer baiting 101, mate.
Really? Okay.
Oh my.
I mean, I haven't watched this show in at least 10 years, all right?
It really is, yes. It's very, especially towards the end, it's so fucking heavily queer-baited, yes.
Okay. What, even when John's he's married to a spy or something?
Even more so, yes.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
I know that the joke is that they're like...
His wife dies and they end up raising a baby together.
Oh, that's very true, isn't it? That's fair. All right, fine. I see it now, okay? Forgive me for not watching Sherlock in years and years, okay? Don't silently sip on your juice with your stares.
I was just taking a drink.
I felt judged by that drink.
You are?
Oh, no.
You are judged.
Right.
That's like watching challenges and being like, I reckon there's something going on between these two.
What the... Don't bring up challenge. Shut up. All right. Not having this. Anyway, ice crystals apparently have a low-level telepathic field, Nathan. There's memory. It's basically memory snow that learns. And this could be a terrible weapon in the wrong hands. Richard E. Grant is like, you're not going to stop me, are you, you fucking idiot? And then they go, well, I know someone that could. He's called the Doctor, but he's not helping people. Ooh. I'm going to be honest with you. The people voted for us to both have notes. This is not an easy task to do.
So far, how have I ever let that down, all right? So far, what have I done to show that I don't have notes? Have I not kept up?
All right, fine. What happens next after this?
The Doctor is with Strax, and he's with Strax and Clara in the cab, and they're fucking questioning her and stuff, all right?
All right, fine. No, all right, fine, but there is a big thing that happens there. It's the Doctor doesn't help anyone anymore. We kind of got that from the intro, yes. But they definitively are like, we know the only guy that could stop you, but yeah, he's kind of hung up his hat. Or not, well, he's kind of put a hat on, but you know what I mean.
Anyway, I love Strax. Strax is a lot of fun. He's, the Doctor's like investigating the snow or whatever, and he's like, do you need a grenade?
He keeps asking for grenades, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's very fun.
I love his little look. I just love him in his little tux. He looks so ridiculous.
his little suit. Yeah.
Someone's made that,
ridiculous.
by the way. A tailor has made that for him somewhere.
I don't think he looks ridiculous. I think he looks great.
No, he does look great, but the very nature of like him in that tux looks ridiculous in a great way.
I think he looks beautiful.
Okay. Fine.
Anyway, Clara's like trapped in the cab or whatever, and then they have to deal with her own wiper memory. Basically.
Yeah, so Strax keeps thinking that she's a boy. That's fun.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was a thing in Demon's Run.
He said boy a few times to various women, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
silence, boy.
But we get reasoning for that. That's because the Doctor calls him classic middle child of 6 million of obviously the Sontarans are clone races, and he's like, do not disclose my breeding methods or something. Which is really fun.
What I enjoy about this is when the Doctor sends Strax to go get the memory worm, and then he basically explains that, like, oh, the memory worm, yeah, you touch the memory worm once and you've lost the last hour of your memory. You let it bite you, you lose much more. And then Strax comes back a moment later. This is so stupid, but so effective. And he's just like, sir? And he's like, did you get the worm? He's like, what worm? Look, it's been snowing.
Yeah, so we go through that a few times. Strax keeps getting fucked by the worm, essentially. He keeps getting his memories erased. No, not like that. I heard it as soon as I said it, all right?
Yeah.
No, he keeps getting the same thing done to him. I like that out of all this, the Doctor keeps turning around to Clara and is like, you stay there, by the way. Don't you go running off. And she's like, this is really funny. I'm not going to run away anytime soon.
I'm not going anywhere, mate. I've got a front row show. I've got a front row seat to this silly little play you're doing. I'm having a lot of fun.
It's fun. It's very fun. But it was fun, and then the snowmen spawn in.
Well, no, I like that Strax he's trying to get the worm from out under the cab or whatever. I guess he got loose, and he needs the special gauntlets to touch it, otherwise he'll lose his memory again. And then Clara picks up the gauntlets, and then we just see Strax going, "Sir, I've been run over by a cab. Yeah. Get help!"
Like it's just happened.
Yeah.
It's really
Which is
funny.
so fun.
Is it Dan Starkey or Storky? What's his name?
Starkey.
Yeah. He's really fun. He's a really good fucking just part of this.
Yeah, he's great.
So yeah, some snowmen spawn in, and essentially the Doctor kind of works out straight away that it's because they're linked, right? Clara remembers the first one that she saw in the opening of the episode. And the Doctor's like, all right, fuck, we need to, the more you think about this, the more you think about it, the more are going to come. And a couple more spawn in until we realise this. We should probably think about them melting so that they just melt. That's all they can, that's the only form they can take on if they live inside your memory or whatever. Yeah, I like all of this. I like this. I like that Clara's quite quick thinking in terms of the Doctor goes, all right, now you're going to know what to do if you see any more of these. And she's like, well, not if you wipe my memory, so looks like you're stuck with me for a bit.
And then they get all wet. I wonder if that's a metaphor for it.
You're going to find everything, aren't you? You're going to find every possible metaphor that could ever be.
I am, yes.
What do you like, as a side point, what do you think about kind of the first time you're seeing Clara go around like this? Like, because she's your favourite companion, right?
She is, yes. She is.
Is this an episode that, like, highlights that? I know it's difficult because it's a different kind of character, essentially.
It's not technically Clara Oswald as we know it. It's not the full version of Clara Oswald. But I like her. I love Jenna Coleman. I think she's a great actress. And yeah, I absolutely love seeing this version of Clara, this Echo, this whatever it is. And yeah, just instantly proves how great she is, really.
And versatile, to be fair. She's really,
very
really
versatile.
charming in this.
Yeah, she is. She's great.
She is indeed. So the Doctor sends her on her way. I really like that Strax is like, he's heading up the carriage. He's on the front kind of bit of it. The driving. Do you drive a carriage or do you like ride a carriage? What's the term?
You drive a carriage.
Okay.
Well, you can do both. It depends if you're driving it or if you're riding on it.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Or in it.
So he's driving it in this sense.
He's driving the carriage.
Okay. So it starts with him driving off and then immediately Clara just gets out. I presume he just doesn't notice.
No, why would he?
It's just really funny.
He's an idiot little potato, man.
I love the idea of him being like thinking he's like, got to take this Clara back to wherever, and like he thinks he's doing a good job, and he's just not. It's very.
Also,
I love
he
him.
probably doesn't even remember where they picked her up from as well.
Yeah, he probably doesn't.
Fuck knows where he's going. He's just off on a jaunty little ride around London. All right.
It's a miracle he ever came home, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, Lawrence, the Doctor's gone back to the TARDIS, right? He's gone to a cloud. Well, he's gone to a park, and then he pulls down a ladder, and then he goes to a cloud.
I like all of this stuff. I like that the Doctor is like... Clara's kind of peeking behind a tree, following him, figuring out kind of where this guy comes from, what his deal is. And she ends up essentially following him up there, right up until... It's a wonderful magical sequence. I quite like all of this stuff.
It is. It's very magical. Again, you got the Clara's theme music, which in itself is quite magical as well. And yeah, it is quite funny how like the set for the cloud is clearly just a studio green screen set because Clara is supposedly very high up in the London night sky and there is not a single hair like blowing in the wind on her head whatsoever. She is clearly in a studio, but whatever. That's fine.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
yeah, but no, it's just very magical. Just the being stood on a cloud. It's that whole fairy tale sort of thing once again, which weaves in and out of this era, and it's all very beautiful. I like that I like the look of the TARDIS, the exterior of it. It's a little bit more distressed than we last saw it. It's like it's all a little bit worn and worse for wear, really, which is quite nice.
You get the sense that it's kind of an undisclosed amount of time. Maybe it comes up in later episodes, but you get the sense he's been sat up there, kind of just sulking for a while, really.
Yeah, very much. Letting it fall into disrepair, not really bothering to maintain the look of it.
Yeah,
really.
Which is crazy because when you see how many times has the Doctor been somewhere for a long time and you don't see the TARDIS take on this kind of much exterior damage. Like he's clearly been there for some time. But yeah, no, I really like it. I like when the camera pans out and there's this moment where you see just how high up they are, and that's when Clara's still climbing up. I am no chance. Am I going up that spiral staircase?
Yeah. Doesn't look very fun.
No, but that's why we're not getting the TARDIS keys, I guess. But yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
she plays Knockdown Ginger with the TARDIS.
Okay, Knock Off Ginger, we called it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a region. What did everyone else call Knockdown Ginger? Write in and let us know.
Knock a door rung. Doorbell ditch.
I've heard doorbell ditch. That's a good one.
Doorbell dash.
What's the ginger part? What's knockdown ginger supposed to be?
It's because you run away gingerly.
Oh, I see. So you're the...
I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
I think it makes more sense than what it was in my head, which was just some words.
Bashing a ginger kid.
just run up to a local ginger and punch
That's
them.
what I always thought of whenever I hear it. Just bashing the local ginger kid.
You don't even run away from the door. You knock on it and if a ginger guy answers, you go... And if not, you go, don't worry about it, mate. See you later.
Yeah. Fun childhood games. Anyway, yeah, I like her knocking on the door and then getting scared and then like, oh fuck this, I've fucked up.
Yeah.
And then just hiding behind the TARDIS. And then she just basically bowls it, runs off down the stairs again.
Yeah, but she leaves her scarf. Ooh.
She does leave her scarf. Ooh.
The Doctor gives it a bit. Well, he gives it a sniff, and then he goes in for round 2. Gives it an extra beat. Well, he goes out. Actually, he kind of sniffs it, and then sniffs it like 3 more times. Moving on.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Just move on.
All right. I like that. The way she kind of knocks on the door and is... I know we've been past it, but I really do like the way she knocks on the door and then immediately kind of goes, wait, what the fuck am I doing? Like she kind of is taken away by how brave she can be and then kind of dissipates back into herself a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Clara wakes up. The snow has thawed overnight, and it turns out Clara is actually not a full-time bar person. She's off to go and do her own work, which she keeps quite elusive and keeping quite quiet.
She was just doing some cover work at the local Rose and Crown. I don't know why, but all right. She pulled in the local shift, I guess.
Just a bit of money, isn't it? I guess where it's going, I guess.
Maybe.
But I don't know what the different persona thing is. We'll get to that in a sec, but I don't know why she has to do this.
Class status.
I guess so.
It's all very Victorian England, especially, and arguably still to this day, it's all still very much the class system at work. If you're a working class girl, no way could you get like a job as a governess for a very rich family. So you have to have a certain bit of status, I guess. Yeah. I don't know, that's just me guessing.
That makes sense. So she's kind of just like she's fitting in a slot, essentially.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I do like this. Clara pulls up. She's got a kind of a posho accent on. Is this Jenna Coleman's actual voice?
No, her actual voice is just the voice she does.
Oh, like normal Clara.
Yeah, Asylum of the Daleks voice.
Oh, okay,
normal
cool.
Clara voice. Yeah.
So she's obviously, I put she's undercover, but she's just going by a different name. She's not really there
not
to be
undercover.
undercover.
No, she's not investigating anything, is she?
Well, she's got an alias, so there's that to it. But it's
Well, yeah, but again, that's more just for the class system at work. She's not fucking doing a fucking detective show or anything, is she?
no, I suppose not. So she meets with the maid outside, and she's like, "This guy." I don't want to read my note.
Oh God.
My note reads, "Captain Latimer's been gooning twice on Saturdays."
Oh fucking hell.
No, but she's like, no, but she does say, the maid says like the guy.
First of all, that's not even correct, and that's even more horrible because she's actually talking about the little boy.
Oh no.
All right? She says Digby.
Oh no.
All right? Digby misses you every day.
Well, the guy is.
And twice on Saturday.
All right,
right?
but the dad, the guy is.
Yeah, the guy's a weird freak, but that's not what you said. All right.
All right, fine.
Captain Latimer is the dad. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that is horrible. You've been homophobic in this episode.
No, I haven't been.
This is outrageous.
You know, everyone on Discord's going to agree with you as well. I didn't say anything homophobic. It's not what I said.
Right.
So, yeah, the kids have been asking after her. I do like that she's known here. She's obviously just someone that, you know, she's working these two steady jobs. And she walks in, she sees Captain Latimer, and he's basically the worst dad ever, essentially.
He's very bad. Yeah.
Just like, my children, they just keep asking me to be their dad or whatever, and that's not really my thing. So I think I won't.
It's not his area of expertise, but they are his children or whatever. Yeah. And then he has like a moment and says, "Oh, like, you're better at this. You know, you're one who's so pretty, so very, very pretty," and then just like looks away in the distance or whatever.
Get it to grip, weird. Brother.
Yeah. Dude is down bad. But hey, I get it. She's a beautiful lady.
She's a beautiful lady, but like, come on,
Lawrence,
man.
back off, okay?
All right, sorry. This won't be mutual barking like with River. I see this now, okay? No. So she meets up with the kids, Digby and Digby's sister.
Francesca.
There we go. Digby
Who
and
are
Francesca.
actually brother and sister.
Oh, are they? That's fun. I like that.
Well, I assume so. They have the same last name in the credits, so
that's enough. You can make an assumption of that, yeah.
I'm sure.
But the kids are having a wicked day. The little kid, Digby, runs over and he's like, "I did 7 drawings and I saw a dead cow." Fucking sick.
I love Clara's face at that point. She's like, "Oh, okay,
cool."
Cool, I guess.
Kids are like this, though, aren't they? Like, they will just be like, "I saw the fucking gnarliest shit today."
Yeah. And then they're like, "Do your secret voice." And then she's like, "Hello, me chums, how's he fucking going? What?"
Which is supposed to be her real voice, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. That was a bit of fun.
So the kids reckon there's an old lady in the pond under the ice. The girls, Francesca.
Well, the girl's having nightmares.
Yes.
Right? Which is what her dad didn't want to bother about. He's like, "I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah,
you sort it out. That's all women stuff or whatever."
Bloody women having dreams.
Yeah. Dreams about dead women or whatever. They were talking about like how they were scared of their old governess or whatever.
Yeah.
And the governess died, and then I think Digby says like she was in the pond for days. Did they not get her out? Did they just? And the way they talked about it, I'm like, did they kill this woman? Did they? He's like, "I hated her." I'm like, I think they might have killed her. You know.
It does seem ominous, doesn't it? Like, how I don't quite understand the circumstances on how she came to be under this ice.
I don't know. No, well, Digby says she fell in there, which is quite suspicious, Digby. I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon he's done something fucked up.
There's a lot of balconies overlooking this pond, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's fun. And then the little boy, Digby, kind of looks up and goes, "I think I need a doctor," which I enjoyed. It's a bit cheese, but you know when kid actors are just kind of a bit bad, so you let them off these cheesy lines.
I think you'll find if you hand your nose, he actually says, "I think she needs a doctor."
Oh,
Lawrence.
fuck you! All right,
Referring to his sister. Okay.
I don't like this little workaround you found. I don't want you to rely on this in the future.
Why not?
This is not an alternative.
I think it's working well, if you ask me.
You can have both, but not one.
No, I think it's working well.
Fine. So Clara agrees. She draws in a bit of a crowd. There's kind of a lot of the Victorian locals. They're still promenading at this point. Is that what they called it when Victorian people walk around a street?
A promenade is like a...
It's when rich old poshos go for a walk, isn't it? In olden times.
No, a promenade is what they would walk on.
Oh, but would one not promenade?
I don't know. I'm not of that wealth status like you.
Oh,
but
fuck. Yes, I should ask my mum when we're always promenading.
Exactly. I would imagine, and what I know and from watching Titanic, basically, is they would walk along the promenade.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe
Bridgerton is not entirely historically accurate.
Well, I don't know. I've also never seen Bridgerton, and never will.
It's also very not historically accurate.
The most I've seen of Bridgerton is that episode of Doctor Who where they mention Bridgerton like 12 times.
That's fair, yeah. This is so like Bridgerton, she says a few times.
This is so Bridgerton.
You'd like Bridgerton. I think you'd get on with it.
I don't think I would.
No, it's a bit of fun. It is a bit of fun.
No, it's nothing like for me. I don't think.
It's like The Crown, but a bit more fun.
But The Crown's good, and it has Claire Foy, okay?
I can't dispute.
Does Bridgerton have Claire Foy?
No, it doesn't have Claire Foy.
You know I like Claire Foy, okay?
Did The Crown end well?
Look.
Because I've been thinking about watching it again.
You should finish it, I think. I think the final episode was very clearly rewritten post the death of the Queen. Okay. Because if not, that's one hell of a coincidence with a lot of shit that's in there. All right.
Right.
But yeah, I think it ended fine. Really.
Nothing crazy.
The sort of like the best stuff in that last season was the Diana stuff, the death of Diana and stuff.
Did they do away with that fairly quickly after the death, or is that like a long season thing?
No, it's like the season is kind of split into two. Like they do the death of Diana, and then it kind of takes like a jump for a few years to like.
Oh, I see. Okay.
To like the early 2000s when then at that point it's all pretty much just like Will at fucking uni or whatever.
Right, and presumably Kate Middleton and all of this.
Yeah, me and Kate Middleton and that sort of shit.
Because that's the stuff I wanted to see. I kind of checked out before all of the Diana stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get back into it just to see all of that stuff. But, yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that with The Crown, a Rewatch podcast or something.
Don't tempt me.
No.
All right, I'll do it. And the last episode is also great because Claire Foy comes back, so...
Ah, okay. I know she appeared a few times. She came back a few times once her tenure as the Queen had ended. Once she wasn't the reigning Queen. Thank you.
She's my Queen, always.
There we go.
I like Claire Foy.
I know you love Claire Foy. This is Nathan Established Law. You love Claire Foy.
She's a great actress. I love her.
Claire Foy and Jenna Coleman.
Yeah. But for different reasons, though.
Okay.
Like I don't fancy Claire Foy, okay?
Oh, you don't?
And that's not the only reason. That's not the only reason I like Jenna Coleman, but like it's a part of it. You know?
Just the eyebrow raise I was privy to just then. So yes, Clara is drawing in a bit of a crowd, and she's trying to kind of shout up into the sky where we earlier saw the Doctor go up to the TARDIS. And Jenny kind of observes this, and she sees what's going on. She goes, "Do you know what? Come back with me. I've got a butler who's a potato. You love it." So on they go.
Well, she's actually like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to draw attention to yourself." Shh. And Clara's like, I'm looking for the Doctor. Do you know him? And Jenny goes, "Doctor who?" And then I'm cheering once again.
Two in one?
Two in one episode?
Whoa.
Yeah. And then Clara has a look like, does she know? Does blood know?
Does blood know? So they get there. Jenny takes them back. Strax greets them at the door. He's like their butler, their live-in kind of butler situation, which is very fun. I do enjoy that.
He's their Mrs.
Oh, I know exactly who you mean.
I was going to say Mrs. Norris, but I don't know what the fuck that's from.
Mrs. Norris, I don't know. Hudson,
yes, that's what I said.
We all knew it. No one Googled.
Mrs. Jennifer Hudson.
There we go. So he's there that. Although I feel like Mrs. Hudson probably gets more sway than Strax does. I feel like if Strax had a problem, they'd just be like, shut the fuck up, Strax.
Not really in the actual Sherlock Holmes. In the actual Sherlock Holmes, she's more just a fucking, like, a maid or whatever.
Ah, okay. Just someone that tends to Sherlock's needs or whatever, yeah. Anyway, so they get to this scene. Clara can only do one-word answers. She sits down in front of... What's the lizard lady called again?
Madame Valstra.
That's it. Clara can only do one-word answers. They have an entire back and forth about... I quite like this. Lies are complicated and require a lot of words to kind of spin a tale, whereas the truth is often kind of...
Truth is singular. Lies are words. Words.
I like it. It's a good little concept. Gets a little bit silly, but I do like the scene overall because they kind of... Clara has to one-word answer a few things, and we get a little bit of backstory on what the Doctor's been up to, how essentially they don't approve of his isolation, but they assist him in it, and they kind of wish that he'd go back to being the Doctor. And I think they all look at Clara and see, this is obviously the Doctor's next companion. Gets
a little bit silly?
It just gets a little bit like...
Because I love where this ends up.
I love where this... I don't know. I don't know. I say silly, but maybe it's a bit of an unfair point, because I don't quite know what I dislike about it. I think it might go on for a bit too long. I don't see how they can all reach the same conclusion when Clara's giving as little as she can give because of the one-word restriction.
That's the test, though. That's the point of it.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a... where the test ends up and the word being pond...
Yeah.
It relies on Clara having watched Doctor Who.
No, it doesn't, because it's explained in the episode.
All right,
it's talking about the pond, all right? It's one meaning for her, but a different meaning for the Doctor.
Yeah, but it's just a little bit like...
Magical?
No, but I didn't really feel the magic there. That's
you
what
didn't?
No, not really.
You didn't? Really?
Yeah, it didn't.
You don't love that shot of the Doctor taking off the fucking glasses?
I love that shot. I love what it means for the Doctor. I just don't buy that Clara would know that, like, and maybe we'll get to this in a later segment, right? But I don't buy that the word pond, if she's got one word, because the way the test kind of wraps up is that you have one word to convince the Doctor to help you. You have one chance at this. Do not fuck it up. And Clara chooses pond. Is a little bit of a strange... It's very convenient that pond has a double meaning for the Doctor in this scenario, and she would never know that.
All of Doctor Who is very convenient, all right? Yeah. Script writing is very convenient, okay?
Yeah, but sometimes you can write in caveats to make more sense that she would have guessed that. Like, that Clara would have understood that. But for me, Clara hinging the safety of the Earth on the word pond, she would never have chosen that word if she hadn't have watched Doctor Who, is what I'm saying.
But she hasn't watched Doctor Who, though.
It seems like she has.
No, she's not. She doesn't know fucking Amy. She doesn't know any of this shit. And also, you could argue that because of how this version of Clara comes about later on, there is also that knowledge within somewhere subconsciously.
All right, yes, but it has to make sense for the day it aired.
No, it doesn't.
I would say it does.
No, it doesn't. You can absolutely do an episode and then find out more stuff about it later.
Yeah, but look, I'm not saying it doesn't make or break the episode or whatever. For me, it just didn't land that magic. But why do you love it then so much?
I just love what it means for the Doctor and it's what brings him out of his slump again. And that shot of him reading, and then because the first time I watched this, I didn't pick up that those were Amy's glasses until that moment. He's wearing them throughout the episode. He puts them on at several points.
Yeah.
But until that moment where the camera actually focuses in on them, it was like a sort of double punch sort of thing. It was the pond, and then oh fuck, he's wearing Amy's glasses.
I do like the way he does rip them off his face and go, what the and then kind of settle into it. And I understand she's giving him the clue. I just think it's a little bit I don't know. For me, it doesn't make sense for that to be the word that she hinges the safety of the Earth on. If she's got one shot and it's pond, she wants to count her lucky stars. It meant an awful lot to this man for another reason entirely.
I just think that's incredibly cynical. But
it might be, but I don't know. It didn't.
But you can say that about anything in Doctor Who.
You don't like it when I don't like stuff, do you? You have to. You're like, we can't move past this.
No, I don't like it when you just refuse to see the the other stuff in it. I don't like it when you so narrow focused in on it's this one thing and nothing else.
Yeah, and I get that the vibes are important, and I get that it, like, as an audience, it means something to us as well. But for me, it just feels like a little bit of a, I don't know. I wouldn't normally. I hate this word normally, but like it does feel like a bit of just a stretch to get there. Like, I understand that pond is in the episode because of the fact that the lady's in a pond or whatever. But that, like, when you put it into context, what's the one reason that the Doctor should help you? This jaded man who's lost his way. We've just fucking heralded him up and propped him up as the savior of a million galaxies and all of this stuff. He's such an important individual in terms of he's a savior, essentially. What's the one word that you can get him out of his slump? And she goes, pond. That's not the word that Clara would have said, or it doesn't make any sense for Clara to have said pond. But it is
the word. It is the why?
Because that's just a clue. She could have said house or anything else, and it would have made equal sense.
Yeah, she could have said house, but she didn't. She said pond.
I know she did. I'm just saying I don't think it necessarily works.
If she said house and the Doctor had a companion called fucking Amy House, all right, you'd be saying the same thing about that, wouldn't you?
Of course I would. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
I just don't think it didn't land in a magical way for me. I just thought a little bit like, oh, it's a bit weird, but whatever.
I don't understand why it's weird.
It's not. I've just explained it. It's fine.
It's I don't. You didn't explain it. Well, I just don't see why it's weird. But okay. I don't know. To me, it makes perfect sense.
All right, it does make sense. It just doesn't land. It's a bit of a because
she's already looked into the pond thing. Well, that's something she already knows about. She hasn't just pulled that out of fucking thin air, has she?
Yeah, but it's not. What I'm saying is, it's not the answer that she would have given unless she'd seen Doctor Who. Like, it's not this. In terms of, how are you going to fucking convince this man to save you? Why do you, as a species, deserve to be saved by this man? Pond. It doesn't make sense.
There's an actual line about it later on in the episode. Let me find it. Because he actually says, oh, good work, Clara, with that fucking pond thing. Body, frozen in a pond. The Snow gets a good long look at a human being, like a full body scan. Everything they need to evolve. Pond. Good point, Clara.
All right, fine. I just don't think it works in the scene. It didn't, like, you're saying it was magical. I didn't even know it was trying to go for that. It didn't feel magical to me. I love the way Matt Smith acts it. I like the way Jenna Coleman acts it. I like that we can see, like, a glimpse of the new TARDIS. I like all of that stuff. But it didn't feel magical to me.
All right.
What do you think of the new TARDIS glimpse? I know you know what the TARDIS looks like.
We're not talking about the TARDIS yet.
No, we get a glimpse of it because he answers the phone.
We get the tiniest glimpse of it, but we'll talk about the TARDIS later.
All right, fine. So this obviously seemingly wakes the Doctor out of his slump because the next thing we know, Richard E. Grant's getting a knock on the door and Sherlock Holmes arrives at the big globe science room or whatever they've got going on in this situation. I've put Stephen Moffat as absolutely stroking it here, given his position on both shows.
What about this scene is horny?
No, as in like a bit of a self-congratulation thing. Like, look, the Doctor Who's doing a Sherlock thing.
No, I think this is again another throw them a bone thing. Since people are like, oh, we want Who-Lock, and like you never get in Who-Lock, so
you can have this.
Yeah, you can have this. All right,
have this if you will.
This is as close as you get to it.
I do like that there's absolutely, like, it doesn't make any sense for the Doctor. He just starts making bold claims. He's like, that guy's got a fish or whatever, and it's all wrong. Like, everyone just looks around and like, what? And the Doctor goes, everyone shut up, I'm making deductions and it's very cool or something.
I see from your colour stud you have an apple tree and a wife with a limp. Am I right? No. But you got a wife? No. Bit of a tree? Bit of a wife?
It's good stuff. It's fun.
And yeah, he says to that guy, do you have a goldfish named Colin? And he goes, no. And he goes, thought not. as if he won somehow with that.
Turn your L's into dubs.
Yeah, because the deductions in Sherlock are just fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very fun to poke a bit of fun at that.
It is a good laugh. It's also nice to see him in like more of a Doctor mode as well. Like, we've kind of just seen him moping about for most of the episode.
Yeah, he's wearing a deer stalker. He's like on the classic like Sherlock Holmes sort of look.
It's a good little coat. It suits Matt Smith really well, I think.
I don't know if it does.
Do you not think?
I don't think so. No.
I like the cane. I like the way he's kind of like flipping it around and being a bit silly.
He's got a cane, yeah. He just starts beating the shit out of that big snow globe thing.
Just starts
giving it a good old whack. Yeah.
I will say as well, the Doctor loves puns. He'd be approving of my my intros of the last couple of weeks.
I don't know if you would, but all right.
He say Ian McKellen says you're not of this world, and he says it takes one to snow one. Which I'll take my hat off to a man who likes puns, and I'm sure he'd do the same if he saw me.
I don't know if he would, but okay.
Yeah, there's the line, "Shut up, I'm making deductions, it's very exciting." He even calls the big globe, otherwise known as Ian McKellen and Gandalf, he calls the big globe Moriarty, which I really liked.
That's not really a joke, though. He's, like, talking about, like, his place here and stuff.
No, but it's just a fun little... He's still in his Sherlock mode. It takes him a while to come out of it. There's a... Can you pull it up on the script? There's a delete your history joke, which I thought was...
It's not really a delete your history joke, but yeah, he finds the file and he like opens it in a way that it opens upon the most opened page due to like fucking gravity or whatever, and then he just says, "Oh, you really should delete your history," but it's not really it's not a Moffat browser history joke.
No, because they'd be like, "What's a browser?"
Not really.
Yeah, they don't know what a fucking computer is.
I wouldn't stop him making it, though.
Oh, that's very true, yeah. Strax wonders if any grenades are going to help. This is later on at the pond, when they're kind of having a little look over and inspecting it. And Strax walks over and he's just excited that the Doctor's he's doing a little investigation again. He's like, ooh.
You jumped ahead a bit.
Is that what happens in between that?
Well, nothing happens in between it, but in the scene, in the Sherlock Holmes scene, he kind of like ascertains the plan of the Great Intelligence and stuff and finds out about them, and they want to inhabit a woman-made of ice and stuff.
Ah, well, there you go. There's the plan. I did not write that down.
Someone hasn't taken their notes, it seems.
You haven't got any notes!
And yeah, I'm doing a better job than you.
This is easier when there's two of us with notes, because you can pick up this slack, all right?
Well, I just did. Is that not what I just did?
All right, fine. All right, now can we get to later on, when the Doctor just cusses out Strax and calls him a potato with small legs or something.
And he's got a nice scarf on as well.
It's cold.
Yeah.
He's got a big bald head. Do you think I'll look like Strax if I shave my head?
Wait, no, the Doctor's got a nice scarf on.
Does Strax not have a scarf on?
Maybe, but I wasn't talking about Strax. I was talking about the Doctor's scarf.
I didn't take much notice of the Doctor's scarf. What does it look like?
It's a scarf. It's just a purple scarf.
Right? I'm sure he looks nice in it.
Fucking hell. Anyway. So the Doctor's looking at this pond. He says, "Body frozen in a pond. The snow gets a good long look at a human being, like a full body scan. Everything they need to evolve. Pond. Good point, Clara."
Oh, all right. Fucking hell. Anyway, speaking of Clara, she's watching from the above window. She's kind of also intrigued that the Doctor's seemingly taking more of an interest after this point, which I quite liked. What was the thumbs up gag? It went by a bit too quick for me. I didn't really pick it up.
The Clara beckons him to come in, like from the window, and he's like he turns around talking to himself, and he's like, "No, don't get involved. Tell her you're going. Say goodbye. Just wave goodbye, and off you go." And then he turns around and just immediately goes, "Yep," gives her a thumbs up and says, "Yep, I'll be right there," basically. And then he like kind of accosts his hand for going on its own accord.
Right, really. I see. I like that. It's kind of like he can't help himself. He is back in the swing of it now, which is nice.
Well, yeah, exactly. There's a moment later, where he realizes, like, without even realizing it, he's gotten back into the role of the Doctor once again. But yeah, we'll get to that.
From this point onwards, it's pretty much kind of a slow him realizing, like, every now and again he gets a bit extravagant and he goes, "Hang on a minute, stop, I'm supposed to be sulking."
Anyway, so Clara's talking to the kids.
Yes.
In the house, and she's like, "Hey, like, bad dreams are all right, but that's all right because someone always helps. There's a man who lives on a cloud and he stops all the kids from having bad dreams." And then Francesca's like, "Well, I have bad dreams, so he doesn't do a fucking good job, does he?"
Yeah, he's obviously shit.
Yeah. And she's like, "Don't worry, he's coming tonight. Here he comes now." Then the door opens, and a big scary ice lady.
The most horrendously terrifying ice lady just steams through.
That's horrific as well.
It's a really good design, right?
You got these kids' hopes and dreams up for this magical man who's about to appear and save them all, and then it's just the most horrifying dead ice woman just screaming at them instead.
I do love that. It is. I don't even know if it's not meant to be a gag. I don't think, but it is very funny the way that Clara's like, oh, it's like the best man ever. He'll come and save your day. Oh, and look, here he is now. And then it's just the most horrendous thing you've ever seen. Yeah, design of her looks brilliant, I think.
Yeah, it does look very good.
Yeah. Like the fact that like there's like this cool air kind of radiating off of her. It's it's pretty great. And I like that Clara immediately drops any kind of bravado. She drops the accent immediately.
Yeah.
Digby's like, you're using your secret voice, and she's like, yeah, catch that, did ya? Or whatever she says.
Yeah. Then they run into the other room and stuff, and I think it's Digby who goes, "Where's the doctor? Where's the doctor?" And then Clara goes, "Oh, I don't know." And then the doctor, I like that he's taking the time to put on a little puppet show. He's putting on Punch and Judy.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's doing the voice for Punch, and he's like, "Doctor Who, a third one."
Oh wow, yeah. Fucking
amazing. Amazing.
You are being truly treated here tonight.
I am. I'm being spoiled in this episode. And then the little puppet's got the screwdriver, and he's like using it on the ice woman or whatever.
Yeah.
And he does that. That's the way to do it. He says as the puppet.
And boy, that'll come back.
And that will come back. Yeah, that will come back quite a lot.
Gets the puppet to give him a kiss.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Yeah.
Even Clara's like, oh, what's this?
That's very fun.
So he's got a new setting on the Sonic, which he calls antifreeze, which is just a fun little gag. I like that. And then he immediately does start to kind of mouth, now that the threat is kind of immediately gone, the Doctor starts mouthing off about how he doesn't help people anymore. Like he does catch himself in doing a bit of the embellishing in the heroics of it all. And then he catches a glimpse of himself in the mirror, and he's wearing his bow tie again. He's put it on.
He takes off his scarf, and that's when the scarf that you didn't notice, and that's when he noticed that he's put on his bow tie. Yeah. And then Clara says, "It's cooler as the room noticeably gets colder." And the Doctor just completely misses the meaning of that, and just has like a nice moment to himself where he's like, "Yeah,
he's like, finally someone gets it."
Bow ties are cool.
I like that little smile to himself. It's a cute moment, all in all. Like the fact that it was just instinct that he's put his bow tie on to go and save the day. It's lovely.
Yeah,
it's very, very nice. So anyway, the ice lady comes back, and the Doctor's like, "Right, everyone out. We're off down the stairs in this big old Victorian house." And kind of as they're running down, this is when everyone kind of meets in the center of the staircase.
This scene's fucking great.
It's so good, right?
This scene is incredible. Yeah.
So he's just the Captain Latimer. He's like, "Who the fuck is this guy in my house?" And he's like, "Don't worry, I'm I don't know what he calls Clara, governess or something."
Yeah, I'm your governess's gentleman friend, and we've just been upstairs kissing.
He has no idea where to take it. It's really funny.
And then, like, the maid comes in, and she's like, "Mr. Latimer, Captain Latimer, there's snowmen outside. The snowmen are just starting to appear." And then she runs over to the door in a panic. And then Vastra and Jenny are there, and Vastra has one of the greatest lines of all time. Yeah. And just says, "Good evening, I'm a lizard woman from the dawn of time, and this is my wife."
It's so good.
And then the maid just screams again and runs back into the house. And if that wasn't enough, then Strax just walks in and is like, "This dwelling is under attack. Silence, boy." And then that poor maid just like passes out or whatever.
It's such a good scene. This is what I mean about like the fun side characters in Doctor Who, right? It's such a good little... It's the rule of three, isn't it? It's just a 3-tier scream, and it's so fun.
It's a great fucking free punch little joke there.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
And I like that amongst all of this, the maid is literally passed out from shock, and then when it cuts back to fucking Captain Latimer, he's just like, "You're not single? What the fuck?" Still stuck on her. Like, let it go, bro.
Now is not the time, my guy.
So yes, Strax again is wanting to throw grenades. He's like, "That'll help." But the old ice lady, what does she have a name, or are we just calling her Old Ice Lady?
Well, she's the previous. She doesn't have a name. No, they just refer to her as the governess.
Okay,
the ice governess.
So the old ice lady governess, she's trying to get to them from upstairs. I do like that the Doctor, like, he's not he's not exactly rusty. Like the way he just goes, "What do you got, Jenny?" And Jenny just fucking throws like a kind of like a force field situation that traps her where she is.
Yeah,
and that's quite fun. I like all of that.
Yeah.
And Strax, this is good. See, this is good character for Strax, right? He goes like he's already surveyed the entire place. Like I just picture him running around on his tiny legs, just looking in every door, being like, "What's
You're
the most
obsessed with his little legs."
Well, no, it's just because the doctor said it later, and just imagine him sprinting. It's funny.
All right. Yeah.
But just I like the idea that he's kicked open every door and he's found the most defensible room. And he's like, right, everyone in here, there's only one way in, one way out kind of situation. And he tells the doctor, who's kind of trying to figure out what the snowmen outside are doing. And he goes, they're clearly in defense formation. Look at their pattern. Look at the way they're standing and all of this. And the doctor gives him a nuggie.
Yes. And I love when Strax goes, "Sir, do not nuggy me when we're engaged in combat."
It's so funny. I didn't notice as well. He wasted zero time getting his classic Sontaran gun out as well. Like he pulled that out of nowhere.
It's great.
So yes, we've deduced that the snowmen all want the ice lady, the old ice lady, because she's essentially the perfect hybrid of human and snow. Like they found the snowmen can't sustain themselves, but the ice lady can, or whatever. Because I guess she was just in the ice for those couple of days after she was murdered.
She's a perfect duplication of human form. Of human DNA in the ice crystal form. The doctor says, which basically. Yeah, the Great Intelligence, which is Gandalf, Simeon, which is Richard E. Grant, and the Snowmen, they can basically use her as the blueprint to make sure they all live forever as weird ice creatures or whatever, basically.
Basically give a kind of a second patch update to all the snowmen in the army.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It's a bit hokey, but who cares? Like
It's a bit hokey, but all the Doctor Who's a little bit hokey,
yeah.
So... whatever, live in ice that will never melt, or some shit.
Something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, then Richard E. Grant is like at the door, and is that where the Doctor and Clara have a little kiss?
Well,
I think it is.
No, so
it?
I think the Doctor goes to get the door or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Everyone, stay the fuck where you are." And obviously Clara doesn't listen to that, so she runs out and immediately just full on smooches him, rizzes him up big time. Which I quite
so
enjoyed.
when I said, "Is that where the Doctor and Clara have a kiss?" and you said no, you was incorrect.
Well, no, but like he doesn't go to the door. Richard E. Grant's not there bearing witness.
No, I know.
To the
That's
kiss.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, take it away. He does. This is where the kiss is.
They have a kiss.
They do have a kiss. Immediate kiss.
There's a kiss. This is heartbreaking that this is the only kiss the Doctor and Clara share for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
What? All iterations of the Doctor?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Heartbreaking.
Wow.
Truly heartbreaking. Yeah. But still, a good kiss. I like it. I like it a lot.
It is nice. The way I like that we always... it's always fun to get a good bit of like... Whoa, what's all this acting from Matt Smith? Like, the amount of on-screen kisses he has where his eyes are wide open and his arms are flailing is truly, like, remarkable at this point.
Yeah. Well, he's just flailing about, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like, oh my god, I'm not comfortable!
It's all very fun. What I do enjoy, though, after that is, like, when he goes to the door to see Simeon, he, like... I don't know. He's just got like a silly face or whatever, and then he straightens it up when he sees him. He like opens the door. He's like kind of got a smile on his face, and then he like straightens himself up when he sees Simeon, which is just very fun.
He gets back into like hard I'm the Doctor mode again.
Yeah, exactly. Back into intimidating Doctor mode.
Yeah. So Richard E. Grant goes, we want the Ice Lady or whatever. Him and his Snowmen boys are there to they're the muscle. And he goes, you have 5 minutes to release her to us. So the Doctor's like, all right, just shuts the door in his face, which I really liked.
Pretty much, yeah. That's good stuff.
And they do that thing where they reverse the ice shield. So they go, right, the only way we're going to get out of this situation is if we get up the stairs, figure out a way out that isn't this. And we need to get the Ice Lady away because she can't stay in here and she can't go out there. Mm-hmm. So they reverse the force field that Jenny set up, and then they spend a little tiny bit of time bickering before they both go, oh, hang on, fuck, we're up against the clock here.
Well, he doesn't intend to reverse the shield with Clara by his side. Like
true, yeah.
He initially intends for Clara to go back into the study with everyone else and for him to do it alone, but she like just comes up alongside him just as he's switching the ice shield. So and then he's like, "Oh, what are you doing here, you idiot?" and that sort of stuff.
What's the bit where she takes his hand and tells him to run, and he's obviously jealous because that's his thing.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much that basically.
Yeah. This is the scene kind of where they get to the rooftop. Clara's dress is stuck in the window. There's a real palpable chemistry here that I love.
So much chemistry.
Yeah. It's really
good.
nice.
I like it when they're throwing that umbrella back and forth to each other and stuff. And he's like, all right, tell me what to do now. You're so clever and stuff. Let's hear it. What are we going to do?
So I know this is something that comes back just from like even just stuff I've seen in the Discord and stuff, right? But like I know that there's this idea that of the companions, Clara does become most like the Doctor in a way. Like she does emulate him the most of a lot of the other companions. And I like that you even see this idea introduced here, because for me that's a fresh thing. Like I don't know too much about Clara and how that story goes. But I love the idea that even from the get-go, even this version of the character that is not the Clara we're going to spend a lot of time with, like straight away she's tossing the umbrella back and forth, which feels like a very doctory thing to do. Like she's quick talking the same way he is, that flirting back and forth. Like it's River Song levels of back and forth. Like she's really matching him on a kind of like, I don't even know the way to say it. She's got a strong back and forth with him that's very clever and fun and dynamic.
Clara is very different to a lot of companions in the sense that, like, I saw someone say on Twitter recently that Clara, a lot of the companions suffer from, in one way or another, some kind of sort of, I'm not good enough for this, I shouldn't be here. I need to impress the Doctor.
Like imposter syndrome kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of like a bit of imposter syndrome, a bit of like insecurity about them, okay? Clara doesn't have that, okay? Clara is like very much secure in herself. She knows what she's good at, okay? And I think because of that, some people are like, well, how dare you?
Is this why people largely don't like it?
I think some people. I don't think it's not as prevalent these days, but back when it was airing, a lot of people really did not like Clara, and I think a lot of that is due to the fact that she is very capable and is so. You're right. She is very much like the Doctor in a way that's like most companions aren't, really.
That's a check against media literacy, isn't it? Like, wow, we did something different for a change. And everyone's like, get back in the box! Get back in.
Yeah.
You should be shit, and you should be grateful that the Doctor's wasted his time with you or whatever. God.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a shame. No, that's it. I'm really excited to get it, because I know that people speak so highly of this era, and it's the era I'm so unfamiliar with. I'm really excited to kind of get into all of this. I know that it does kind of... There's a consensus, correct me if I'm wrong, that Clara kind of comes more into her own with the next Doctor, right? Rather than her version of Matt Smith.
You'll see. Make up your own mind.
Oh, okay. All right. I like that. So, yes, the back and forth is fun. The TARDIS staircase. It's they're running up it because they essentially throw the umbrella back and forth until Clara hooks it up and the staircase comes down. Because she's smart and she's deduced it, and it's clever. There's a fun little detail, the TARDIS staircase. She's like, how the fuck did we get so high up so quick? And he's like, oh, it's taller on the inside.
Well, just before that, and I will come back to that because I do want to talk about that.
Okay.
But I do like that when Clara pulls down the ladder with the umbrella, the Doctor says, right, up you go, and she's like, no, up you go, I'm wearing a dress, eyes front, soldier. And the Doctor's like, all right, yeah, fine, my eyes are always front. And then she's like, mine aren't.
Yeah, she's sexy, man.
She's back off.
All right, sorry.
Back off.
No, it's palpable. You can feel this chemistry. It's very good.
It is, but then I also really like because she gets onto the ladder herself, and then she just like says to the ice woman, like, I understand you're the previous governess. Well, I got your job now, so fuck you. Yeah. And then just goes up the ladder, which is very
does
good.
It's the hot fudge. She just jog on.
She doesn't, but yeah.
She hits her with that. So you want to talk about the taller on the inside thing? What's that then?
Yeah, it's not taller on the inside. It's the opposite of that. It's smaller on the inside, all right? Clara's like, how did we get up here so quickly? And the doctor's like, oh, special staircase, taller on the inside. If it was taller on the inside, it'd take you longer to get up there.
Yeah, that does make sense, actually.
Right? Yeah. It's smaller on the inside, but they can't say that because that's not the joke, all right?
Yeah.
They need it to sound like the TARDIS thing, so, like, whatever. But
They won't notice. The scene's quick.
That always, I know it is, all right? And it always pisses me off, all right? It's not taller on the inside.
I don't think anyone accounted for, like, this episode getting a 2-hour deep dive into it by two idiots.
Well, they should have, all right?
Right, it's TARDIS time. New TARDIS.
Well, first of all, I love this. I love this whole shot. I love the way it's the setup and everything like this. The Doctor and Clara having a bit of a row on top of the cloud.
Yeah.
And she's, the Doctor just like storms off into the TARDIS and she like follows him in, still having a go at her, not really realizing it because it's all dark and stuff. And then he just has that moment of switching on the lights and then we get to see it all and
dun 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 dun. I tell you what, look, TARDIS interiors, they can be a touchy subject over on the Still Got Legs podcast, all right? But as reveals go, the confidence to do a shot walking, and I know it's green screen and the clouds, and I get it, that helps a lot. I understand that.
Well, it has to be because this is the TARDIS studio set, all right? This is the first time the TARDIS set is a full 360 enclosed set, all right?
Yeah.
It's not a stage. It's not a stage with half of the wall missing, all right? It's a full 360 enclosed set. So they have the door, which leads into it, and then all around it is green screen. So they can fucking put whatever they want there, basically. So they're just on that set at the moment.
It is an amazing set. It looks incredible.
An amazing set.
The confidence to just walk into it is so good. It's you don't understand how much Doctor Who has been missing that effect until they've just done it, and you go, "Oh, that felt so real and so tangible," and I loved it.
There's a sequence next week where we really get to have fun and explore.
Oh, I know what that is. Yeah,
what you can do with a fully closed set, and it's so much fun. I love it so much.
Yeah.
But we're peak on it. We've reached We've reached
peak version 1.
Version 1, yes. For 1.0.
Yeah.
All right, we've reached peak
beta
1.0,
testing
right?
peak.
Yeah, but already, so good. It's good. It's so good. The fucking the time rotor going up when the big things that spin around as the engines whirl and stuff, and it's got the Gallifreyan text on them. It's beautiful. I
love the Gallifreyan on the walls. That's kind of around the door as well. I don't know why it's a small detail, but I really like the tubing that kind of leads to the door. It just feels very classic spaceship, like you'd see.
Yeah.
When you get off a plane in an airport and you've got that kind of connection between the staircase and the actual plane itself, and it's always that little tubey bit. It reminded me of that.
Okay.
I haven't been on a plane in some years, all right, but I'm sure that's still there.
All right, yeah.
It's got like it's subtle, but there's a kind of like a smoky quality, and maybe it is because it's a 360 enclosed set. Like they can maybe get a smoke machine in there, and it kind of just lingers around the floor and the ceiling. It looks really atmospheric and quite nice. I love the confidence to walk straight into it. I am.
Here we go.
No. This is not negative because this reveal. I wasn't expecting this reveal to have this much sauce to it, right? It's a good reveal. The way the music kicks in, the way the lights flick up, the way that even before that, it's got this kind of light blue hue that's just really pretty to look at, right? I will say, I've never been the biggest fan of like no one needs more silver spaceships in sci-fi. I know it looks a bit bold.
It's not just a silver spaceship though.
I know it's
so
not.
Much more that it's so much more than that.
For the
silver
time being,
is just one small aspect of it.
Okay, I'm at this point in time, especially with this episode, I'm choosing to believe that Amy and Rory obviously left the show last week, and the Doctor doesn't want to sit around and look at the old TARDIS in their rooms anymore. And I quite like the idea that in doing that, he obviously decided to stop acting as the Doctor. I like the idea that the orange hue and the warmth of the Series 5 and onwards TARDIS is been stripped away for a way more clean and clinical look. I really like that idea for the show. And that is how I'm getting over the silver TARDIS console. I liked it more than I thought I liked it, I will say, because I've only seen this TARDIS in very segmented bits and bobs and the odd episode here and there. But I enjoyed this reveal. I liked it.
It's great. It's not just, the controls aren't just limited to the center console as well.
Yeah.
He's got bits on the side now. He's got like panels on the side and stuff.
I really
and then
like
he's got
that.
like
That's good.
a staircase and a balcony which goes around the whole set, which I really enjoy. Again, there's doorways that goes off to different various corridors and stuff, which we'll see.
I like that it's quite a bit smaller as well.
It is a bit smaller. Yeah, I like that it's a bit smaller as well. If it's more enclosed and it has a more intimate feel to it.
Everyone stay tuned for what big, empty, silver, white or spaceships look like when there's absolutely fuck all in them and they're the size of a mansion. We'll get there. But yeah, great reveal. Great stuff.
Great
Really
TARDIS.
liked it.
Great TARDIS. Better than the last one and way better than the one before.
See, I don't know. Is that your official ranking? Does it go...
This is at the top, yeah. This is at the top so far.
I think I'm squarely the opposite at the minute, but I'm excited for it to grow on me. I'm not as familiar with this TARDIS. I'm sure I'll grow to love it.
It's beautiful. It's great.
Okay. Clara wants to make souffle. She goes, where's the kitchen?
Well, no. First of all, it's smaller on the outside.
Oh, yes, that is fun. We get the run around the outside. It's lovely.
We get the run around the outside, yeah, and then we get a bit of a twist on the infamous line, which is good fun.
It's the way that I do like the way that Kizzy's back being the Doctor again. So he's a bit cocky and it's like, go on, say it. Everyone bloody does.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Doctor does clock the souffle line. Not as much of a mic drop for us as it is for him, because we know that that's the souffle girl. We've seen this.
Well, do we? Because
if you
were just taking this from the episode's perspective, from just this episode's perspective, and not our outside knowledge, okay? The episode hasn't done anything to explain it yet.
That is true. To be fair, in Smith and Jones, I didn't go, that's Adiola from Torchwood.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Is that what you're getting at, or what do you mean?
No, well, no, but like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the episode purposefully has not told us anything yet. And we also still don't know what's going on. And is this the same version we saw before?
Right,
is it like we don't know how the mystery is planning out yet?
Well, I like that. I like that they're leaning full tilt into it. Obviously, I know where this specific thing goes, but it's it's nice.
I think the only cue we've had is the music. Really, I think the same music was used for Oswin Oswald as it was for Clara.
And general audiences, I don't think are picking that up anytime soon.
Well, I would be.
I know you would be. So yes, but
so Clara asks if there's a kitchen, and then she's like, oh, I don't know why I asked that. I like making souffles. Yeah, and then there's a bit of a moment where the Doctor's like, souffles? That sounds familiar. I'll put a pin in that.
Yeah, we'll touch back in on this, I think. There's another moment that shows you just how smart she was. She says, you knew I was coming. You brought that umbrella. Like, you are a good feet and a half taller than me. You could have just reached up and grabbed it, but you brought the umbrella because you knew I'd need it. And but again, it's the things like it depends on kind of what way you want to take it, but subconsciously this guy just is the same guy. Like, he can't help himself.
Of course he can't.
Yeah.
No, he absolutely can't. There's a really sweet moment where, they go through all of that, and then she asks him basically why he brought her along, why he did that, and then he takes out the key to the TARDIS and gives it to her, and he says he never knows why, he only knows who.
Yeah, which is really lovely.
Yeah, really lovely. It's just a really sweet moment, and then horribly interrupted by the Ice Woman just dragging Clara out.
So this is the part of the episode where I was starting to wonder, we're getting like last 15 minute stretch of the episode here, and I know this isn't the Clara, and I was sat there like, this is only going to go badly, isn't it? And then as soon as this happened, it caught me off guard. It's quite a talent that in the episode where I was waiting, something bad happens to Victoria and Clara. What bad thing happens to Victoria and Clara? I was completely surprised by it. Brutal what does happen to Victoria and Clara. Yeah, just getting fucking snatched and then
thrown off a cloud, basically.
And
just falling however far down to your death, basically.
Yeah, which is pretty... And just that thud as well. When everyone's in the house, you just hear a... You go, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, pretty brutal. Pretty brutal.
Pretty brutal indeed. But yeah, so... everyone in the house kind of hears the thud, and they've got the scanner, and the scanner's reading no life signs detected out there. So like,
yeah,
pretty rough straight away. But then the TARDIS,
Captain Latimer wants to go out and get her, but Vastra's like, there's snowmen. Do you want to build one? They're all out there and they will kill you. All right,
it's good sneaking there. Good.
Cute. She's like, you can't, and then he's like, but she's hurt, and Vastra just says, she's dead, mate. Yeah, she is dead.
She ain't hurt, mate. She's gone.
Yeah, but the TARDIS lands around her and picks her up, and then takes her into the little study.
We have never seen any Doctor so frivolously use this quick little kidnap TARDIS setting as much as we've seen the 11th Doctor use it. Like, just whipping up into Amy's, being like, I've grabbed you, come on, we're off.
I think it's good. I like it.
It is a great little situation. It is fun. But yeah, so Strax is getting to use his Sontaran technology. Captain Latimer's a bit like, what the fuck?
Well, he's a nurse, remember?
He is. He's getting to use his little his expertise. I like that he seems immediately a bit more tetchy now that he's having to do the humiliating nursing job. Like, because someone's like, Captain Latimer, I can't remember what he says, but he's like, we've got fucking technology you wouldn't have even dreamed of, you moron. Shut up and get out of my way. But yeah, so the idea is here that Strax can keep her alive, but like it can't sustain her. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Vastra says her injuries are too severe. That equipment can bring anyone back for a while, but long term, not so much.
It's not looking good. Yeah. The Doctor's stewing on the TARDIS. He's like, I like the idea that, I know he's just seen her ripped away, but they had just had that touching moment on the TARDIS where like he let someone in, he gave him a key. Like, that's a big step considering where this man was last week.
Definitely.
But straight away it's gone badly for him again. And earlier on in the episode he was saying stuff like the universe does not care. Like, I've learnt one thing saving the universe so many times that it just doesn't care for me doing this, basically. And he's already so committed to the idea of her well-being that he goes out and speaks to Clara in quite a lovely scene. And
very lovely scene.
Yeah, makes her a deal. What does he say? What's the wording of that?
He says a few things to her. She like says, they all think I'm going to die, don't they? And he says, no, I know you're going to live. And she asks him how, and again he repeats that line, I never know how, I just know who. And then he just basically asks her if she'll come away with him in a very nice way. Yeah.
So it's cute, it's wholesome, it's sad. But yeah, I do like the idea that he's been motivated by this idea that if he saves the world, if he saves the universe, if he like goes back to what I guess at this point in time he's considering as kind of just a duty that he has. Like, he doesn't really derive much joy from saving stuff anymore. But yeah, he gets pulled up on it. That's like, do you know what? Like, the universe can just fucking give me one for a change. Like, I will save the universe, but it has to do something for me now.
Vastra says to him, are you making a bargain with the universe? You'll save the world, but let her live. And the Doctor says, yeah, and don't you think I'm owed that? After all this time, after everything I've done, don't you think I'm just owed this one? He says.
It's a great concept, the Doctor essentially asking for a reward and a thank you. Like, that's how broken he is. Because we've seen previous versions of the Doctor, and even this one, kind of defy that idea of, like, I don't need payment for this. I just do this because it's the right thing to do. But this time he's like, no, this is fucking bullshit. I keep having hard shit happen to me. Yeah. And for all the good he puts out, he's obviously not getting anything back.
Anyway, he has a little box, and then he like goes out to the front door, and then says to Richard E. Grant, hey, I've got your fucking ice woman in here. I'll see you at your office, he says.
Such a fucking flex that he shows up there before him as well. When Richard E. Grant rides up in his carriage, the Doctor's just kicked his feet up on the desk. He's like, yeah, about time, bitch.
It's great. That
spinning roof. Did we mention the spinning roof? We haven't seen the new TARDIS in flight, but as soon as he pulls the accelerator, it starts rotating up the top.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Okay. Yeah. I know you mentioned the roof, but like it starts all spinning and it's cute and looks good.
The roof is on the outside. It's a ceiling when it's on the inside.
Oh, yes. My bad. Well, it's technically it's a different dimension. Maybe it doesn't have a roof. I don't know. All right, I don't know how it works.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is where we do get some Sherlock deductions. The Doctor deduces that the snow is actually a child or something. This was what I was a bit shaky on. I didn't really understand any of this stuff.
What do you mean?
Well, like so it's not that the Gandalf is not. It's just a copy of Richard E. Grant as a child or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So and Richard E. Grant didn't know that. He thought this was some higher being or whatever.
Yeah. The snowman, the snow was basically mimicking and just learning through Richard E. Grant.
Right. So and that's why it has the connection with him, and it's only been. He's kept Richard E. Grant around and kind of subservient because that's how he can keep evolving beyond him.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Oh, okay. I guess that makes more sense. Yeah. So yeah, I don't mind that, but it ends with the actual box that the Doctor said he had a bit of the Ice Lady in is actually the sneaky return of the memory worm.
It's the memory worm. It's a good comeback. Really.
It is
a good little pull and reveal.
It is, yeah. Because you sat there thinking the memory worm was just a fun little joke, but no, it actually has quite necessary implications for the episode. So it bites him, which we got told earlier would remove all memories of his adult life, essentially.
Yeah.
Or it can take decades off, I think they said earlier, or whatever. And then, because obviously that's the link that the Gandalf has to take hold of. It essentially starts to panic. But then there's another reveal that he's actually fine.
Well, yeah. So what the Doctor didn't necessarily account for is that now, because he's essentially turned Richard E. Grant into a blank slate, essentially, the Gandalf can now inhabit that blank slate, basically.
Right, and he becomes like an ice zombie.
Yeah, he can basically take human form, which is kind of what he's wanted all along, basically.
Is he more powerful in human form?
I don't fucking know.
No, it's a bit. I don't understand kind of what his goal is here.
I don't know.
But yeah, he essentially wrestles the Doctor to the ground. He starts kind of putting his hands all up in his face. It's more fisticuffs than the Doctor's used to.
Ice zombie Richard E. Grant is so hokey and so camp, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's so great. When he just like comes up with his arms outstretched and his weird demonic voice, I'm like, this is so dumb.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's really,
great.
It is really fun. It quite literally is Ice Zombie, but it's got all the charm of Richard E. Grant just going full on.
Yeah, it's great.
It is good. Yeah, it is a very fun time. So over across the way in the big Victorian house, you've got Clara speaking to Captain what's he called again?
Latimer.
That's it, Captain Latimer. And she's kind of essentially comes to terms with the fact that it's curtains for her. She's gonna die. And he's still like, but my fucking kids. Can someone else deal with my kids, please? Don't die. I'll have to get a new nanny or whatever.
He doesn't really say that.
He says something to the effect, doesn't he?
She says, your children, they're afraid. Hold them.
Oh, okay. So she brings it up.
Yes. And then, he does say, then again, it's not really my area. Okay.
Right.
And then she just says, it is now, basically.
Oh, okay. In my memory, it was like Clara's dying and he's like, no, fucking hell.
No, that's not.
I don't want to be a dad.
No, but then she cries. She has a tear.
Poor over
her eye.
Which might become relevant in right now.
Well, it is relevant in the fact that it's used to kill all the snowmen or whatever.
Yeah. So the snow globe itself suddenly is not manically snowing anymore. It starts to turn to rain.
Yeah. But then the Doctor's like, oh, that's not rain, it's tears. Because a family is crying on Christmas or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Moving on. We'll move past all that.
It's a Christmas miracle. No?
It's a Christmas miracle. The snow's dead because of crying or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, point is, the Doctor then rushes back to the Victorian house and has just kind of like one last conversation with Clara, basically, just as she passes. He's like, hey, we saved the world, Clara. You and me, we did it. And then she's like, you going to go back to your clouds now? And then he's like, no, not anymore. I'm done with that, basically, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
He's like moved on. He's able to get past that because of her. And just as Clara is about to pass, she tells him to run. And then she says, run, you clever boy, and remember.
Oh.
Now that sounds familiar.
That does sound familiar. A sizzle, one might say. So yes, it kind of cuts forward at Clara's funeral. So yeah, they're kind of sat there saying essentially.
Did you notice the birth date on Clara's gravestone?
I didn't. What did it say?
23rd of November. Doctor Who's anniversary.
Okay, right, there we go. I don't know this. I'm not a big nerd. Oh. I understand.
Morris,
I know.
What are you doing right now?
All right. I get it.
What are you doing right this second?
Okay. So yeah, the Doctor he's kind of in the background watching the funeral unfold. He's excited about the mystery of Clara. I think once he got that "Run, You Clever Boy, and Remember" montage, and he kind of susses out that this is the same voice that he's already heard before.
To quote Gandalf, he's like, "I think there's more to this than meets the eye."
Yeah. Ooh. But yeah.
Is that your Gandalf impression?
Yeah. Just a kind of strained old man going, ooh.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so the Doctor's off to find her. He's getting very excited about the prospect of essentially seeing another Clara. He's instilled with a new purpose.
Whoa. You're jumping way ahead.
No, I'm saying that he gets excited about it, but then we cut to something.
You're jumping way ahead.
I haven't skipped it. I haven't skipped that bit.
What are you
It's a sequence. It's all kind of montagey together and stuff.
No. What?
I know it's in this order.
All right, are you doing the great intelligence bit?
What's the great intelligence bit?
The card. He pulls out the card. Great intelligence. That sounds familiar. Rings a bell.
Oh no, I'm not doing that bit. Go on, do that bit. You've got every line of the script in front of you, all right? Give me a break.
But even I knew it without that as well.
You'll never be able to prove that, all right? Great
Intelligence, I believe, was also a classic Who villain.
Well. Okay, so that's why it's like, huh?
Yes.
I know what this is.
Yeah. Rings a bell. Yeah. So there's that. But even though without that, I still think he was jumping ahead, though.
All right, fine. Well, then please take me from the funeral.
Because he goes to the grave and he sees her name on the grave.
Ah, yes, I was jumping ahead. You're right.
Okay, yes, all right. You see, and you're like, no, I'm fucking not, all right? I know what I'm doing.
No, that didn't happen. That got cut out.
Okay, great. Yeah, he sees her name. He sees the name Clara Oswald on her grave, and then that's when we get the flashback, the montage of Oswald, Junior Entertainment Manager, Starship Alaska. Yeah,
and he's like, hang on a minute. I know what's going on.
You can do your whole thing.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, he's invigorated with a nice new purpose. He's like, whoa, he's suddenly gone are the days of mourning. He's suddenly immediately like, this is a mystery for me. This is something afoot. And the prospect of finding, I don't know if he knows necessarily what he's after, but he knows that this is more than a coincidence and it's something for him to head off and have a little look into.
Well, definitely, because it's the same person. He knows it's the same person. She said the same thing to him, "Run, you clever boy, and remember," and it was the same voice. That was clear to him. This also clears up some confusion, because I know people after Asylum of the Daleks, they had some confusion about like, well, why didn't he know she was a Dalek? Sure, she would have sounded like a Dalek the whole time. No, she didn't.
No, she sounded like Thingy, yeah.
Yeah, we heard that. How we heard her is how she sounded for the majority of the episode. It was only when the Doctor was in the same room as her that he was in the same room with the Dalek that she had the Dalek voice.
Yeah. Imagine that, the Doctor's only hearing a Dalek voice. He's like, it's a raspy throat.
Yeah. So yeah, he notices it's the same, and he's like, he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know how it's possible, but he's like, this is a mystery that I need to look into.
Indeed.
Yeah, he knows he can find her again.
He can, and so can we as audience members if we stick around for the next section of Doctor Who in this episode, because it cuts. That's a good segue from me. I see you squinting. Okay. A modern Clara stumbles across this very grave. She's walking past it. She's like, her friend's in the background like, can we get the fuck out of here? Like, no one likes to hang around in graveyards. It's creepy and weird. And Clara's like, nah, not for me. I don't believe in ghosts, she says.
So this is our first official introduction to Clara Oswald.
This is the Clara.
Clara Oswald as we know her. Yeah. This is the Clara. Yeah. Also, we will never see her friend again. So don't worry.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Never see her again. She never comes up again. So don't worry about her again.
We can add her to the pile of discarded mates. What was the one that Rose, Shireen of Rose's friend?
I don't think we ever met Shireen.
No.
She was only mentioned.
Oh, yeah, no, true, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
It's not lost media, mates, essentially.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then we cut to the Doctor essentially running around the brand new TARDIS, just essentially chanting her name. It's like a little mantra for him. He's off to find her. And it's a lovely, considering where the episode started and where it ended for the Doctor, he's now inspired. He's got a new mission, essentially, and
I think it's a lovely parallel between Asylum of the Daleks. Because Asylum of the Daleks ends with him excitedly rushing around the TARDIS going, Doctor Who!
Yeah.
Doctor Who! And all this sort of stuff because of what Clara did and because Clara helped him out and removed him from the database and stuff. And now, again, he's invigorated because of Clara once again, because he's got this mystery, but instead of, repeating Doctor Who, he's repeating Clara, Oswald Oswald and stuff.
It's nice.
Yeah. And then the episode ends with a little fourth wall break as well.
A fourth wall break?
Yeah, he looks into the camera and says, "Watch me run."
Oh, sorry, I thought there was something I didn't pick up on. Yeah, no, I noticed that bit. No problem.
A fourth wall break.
It was a fourth wall break. Overall, good episode. I do enjoy it quite a lot. I like I said, I haven't come around on the villain. I think he's a little bit hokey, even though Richard E. Grant does carry it through. But you're steadfast on Certified Banger.
We're not done with the villain.
We're not done. Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right. Yeah, because they leave it in the air and they're like, he might come back, he might not. We'll see what's going on with that. I think
he does.
Yeah, I know he does. Isn't it like next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Nathan, you need to tell us what's up next.
Weirdo of the Week! Weirdo.
No ooh-oohs?
Nah, not this week. A bit more serious. I wanted to have a sip of my drink, if I'm honest. There was no time for oohs.
Anyway, this is a segment of the show where we get to take a chance to look back and reflect on some of the weird and wonderful and grubby little characters who come across our screens each and every week. Lawrence, who's your weirdo that you're celebrating this week?
Well, it was going to be Clara, but I'm going to get some pushback on that, so I've actually pivoted, because we already discussed it a little bit earlier in the episode anyway.
Why was it going to be Clara?
It was going to be Clara for the pond thing, yeah.
Okay.
But I've pivoted. It's not good. That felt threatening, that did.
Yeah, it was.
It's now actually Jenny instead.
Okay.
In the funeral scene mere moments ago that was discussed. She goes, great intelligence can't be that much. We can't really be in that much for Spot or Bother, can we? It's just a disembodied intelligence that wants to invade the world with snowmen. Well, fucking useless. I'm like, no. No, Jenny, that was very much the threat of the episode that almost killed an awful lot of people. So my weirdo is Jenny because she seems very cavalier about this threat that almost just wiped her out.
Yeah, but as far as she's aware, it's done, though.
Yeah, but the fact that she sets it up with stakes and is like, disembodied intelligence just wants to invade the world with snowmen, that's not ever going to be anything. That exact situation just happened to you and it almost rocked everyone's shit.
All right.
So I don't like it when you're that, fucking dismissive of it. Just go with it. Who's your fucking weirdo?
It's the Doctor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why? Sorry, I was having another sip.
For his weird dog sniff he does on a scarf. What's going on?
Dogs.
What's all that about? He sniffs it and then he sniffs it again very intensely. He gives it a weird dog sniff. What are you doing?
It is a kind of I'll have a sniff and then I'll bury my fucking face into this and have a proper sniff. Yeah.
He's sniffing it like a fucking bloodhound, like tracking his next victim.
Of all of the sniffs and the licks and everything else we've seen the Doctor do, this did feel very weird, this one. It felt different in a way.
Yeah, felt grim, to be honest.
Felt grim. All right,
Yeah.
chalk them up. Nathan, I don't know if you're aware of this. It's actually time for the next segment of the show.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll tell you. Nathan, it is time for the audience to have their say. If you're new, you can write in on the emails or the Twitter or the Discord and let us know your thoughts on the episode, and we get to read out some of them on the show. We're going to go back and forth. Do you want to take it away with the emails?
No, you go first. I don't have one.
All right, I will take it away then. In that case, coming in from Pierce, otherwise known as our Discord mod, and the Marshal over there. Hey, boys. Long-time listener, first time writing in.
Not true.
I do like this joke, though. The episode had my favourite TARDIS interior reveal of all time until very recently. That one shot alone certifies this sausage for me. So Pierce agrees with you, it's a certified banger. The one shot alone obviously being the walk in the TARDIS from the outside. Until recently. Interesting. Favourite TARDIS interior reveal of all time until recently. Ooh. Email, please.
This one is from Ethan Robertson. The subject line, the Snowmen, and settle in some scores. All right, Nathan and Lawrence, I've been listening to the pod since June. Managed to burn through the episodes quickly by listening at work. You guys make getting through the endless spreadsheets a bit easier, though I've had to pause you tits a few times to stop myself bursting out laughing in the office. The cum saga had to be relegated to the car for that reason.
My God.
It's a good problem to have, so please never change. But with all these hot takes of yours rattling through my head 8 hours a day, that sounds like torture, I need to get my deliberations in on a few of your debates. Number 1, Ten's blue suit is a superior look. That brown suit is iconic, but it is hideous. Okay?
all right.
Number 2, 11's green coat isn't horrible, but it doesn't fit his Doctor at all. Easily his weakest look. Okay?
That's fair.
Number 3, I personally disagree with this one, but School Reunion is a banger. Okay?
It is a banger, man.
It's not. All right. Number 4, the RTD1 TARDIS was a great design and the only one to get the organic machine idea across properly.
Yes.
Disagree. There's only one bad TARDIS design and it's yet to come. Bit of shitty sizzle. Okay. Number 5, Lawrence's rhyming intros were the peak of the format. Bring them back and force him to rhyme the awful Chibnall episode titles coming up in like 2 years. He has 2 years to think of something to go with the Battle of Rankar's Bath Salts or whatever the fuck that episode was called.
What the fuck? Okay. Someone is paying attention to my intros, I guess.
No one is. Anyway, the Snowmen, it's just a bit mid, but gives us Jenna Coleman full-time, brackets barking, and that new TARDIS interior, brackets barking. If only they didn't waste Richard E. Grant for the second time in Doctor Who history, and not the last. With that said, thank you for being such funny fellas talking about the best and worst show in the world. Eagerly awaiting suit talk on the Capaldi era, because boy does 12 have some fits. Have a good one from Ethan, resident Mackham, sent from iPhone.
iPhone. Okay. I presume there was an E missing.
There was no E on the end.
Okay.
So
12
sent from iPhone.
Does 12 have good fits?
Oh, yes, he does. 12 has some of the best fits in the show.
I know. The only thing I solidly know about 12's fits is he has the sunglasses. I know his hair changes wildly throughout his era.
That's not the fit. That's not the
No,
fit.
but it's his look. It's his vibe overall. And I know that he has one jacket that has like a red interior and everyone called him a magician or something.
All right.
That's not a comment on the quality. I'm sure it looks great. I'm just saying that's all I know. But yeah.
Right.
Anyway, thank you. Carney writes in on Discord as well. I do not mean to diminish Clara as a character, but I would have much preferred this version as a companion had real world things not prevented that. What does this mean? I know that, so they're saying they prefer Victorian Clara, but real world things? Did something get in the way of that?
No, I think it's just that you can't have a Victorian companion because they need to be from modern day for the audience perspective.
Oh, okay. Which they really, I so disagree with that. They really don't need to be at this point. Like,
Yeah, no, I also disagree.
Yeah.
But I like Clara, so back off.
Okay. This is still Clara, though.
Yeah, but back off.
Okay. All right, another email, if you would.
It's from Alfie, who says, "Hey guys, first time emailing in. Hope this got in on time. Really like this episode as it shows us 11's depression era, and in my opinion is the saddest one of them all. Breaks my heart every time to see him in a tie, not a bow tie, and you have to love the Strax comedy, and the three of them need their own spin-off as well." I think that was talked about, but it never happened.
Oh, that's a shame.
It would make so much sense for them to have one. How the Doctor giggles when Clara goes and runs around the TARDIS just tells us that the Doctor is addicted to the phrase "it's bigger on the inside" and makes Clara's reaction just that funnier. P.S. This is where the fun begins, boys. Sent from Outlook for Android.
Ooh, fair. I like that you always include those little lines.
What's in the email?
This is where the fun begins. Interesting. Okay.
Agreed.
Really going into something here. R.W. Vasquez on Discord says, "I love the Doctor's commitment to the bit. He knows there's an ice woman who will surely kill anyone inside of that house Clara works for, and his instinct is to set up a puppet show in a room they might run into in order to make a grand entrance. Genius!" Yeah. You can't ever say he's not committed to the bit. This is when he's just got his mojo back as well, so I can forgive that. I think that's he's really pulling out all the stops for his big Doctor is a hero again moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Indeed.
It's good stuff as well. This one is from Billy Who. Still got thoughts on the Snowmen. Hello, gents. What an episode we have here, and what a new TARDIS interior. I really love this new interior as well as its inspiration. In case you're not familiar or haven't already mentioned it in this week's episode, I thought I'd bring up what the console is based on. That being the Atlas detector at CERN. I can't find the exact clip, but I remember in a behind-the-scenes video, the set designer explained that at the time this episode was in production, the Higgs boson had only recently been discovered, and the internet had been flooded with images of the Atlas detector. That stands for a toroidal LHC apparatus. Yes, we're great at names. They said the Doctor would have seen those images and immediately fell in love with the idea and just wanted one. What the Atlas detector actually does is stand as one of the sites along the Large Hadron Collider where proton, I don't know if that's a mistake, collisions occur. These protons collide at incredible energy levels, and when they do, it's enough to break them apart and reveal the subatomic particles they're made of. The surrounding massive octagonal apparatus is filled with layers of complex detectors that have been calibrated to look for subatomic particles and will help scientists analyze that data to determine if particles like the Higgs boson were generated during said collision. In 2012, such detection was made, and since then many more have confirmed the readings. I only wish the real consoles at CERN looked like this sleek TARDIS interior. I can tell you most of the computer consoles on site are nothing more than computers on desks. Insanely impressive science going on, but not an ounce of style in office design. As always, take what I say with a grain of salt. After all, I am just some idiot. Keep up the great work with the pod.
You can't sign off emails like that with "I'm just some idiot." Like, if you're an idiot, then
Billy,
what the fuck am I?
We are much bigger idiots, okay?
Yeah.
But that's how Billy always signs off his emails.
I know. I like that that's like in universe, there's this idea that the Doctor just took the design from something else. Are you a believer that the Doctor designs the TARDIS, or the TARDIS just goes, this is what you got?
Well, everything we've seen kind of implies it's the TARDIS doing it.
Yeah, because the Doctor's like, let's see what you got for me this time, and all of this stuff.
Yeah. But we haven't seen how this one came about, so
that's true. Yeah, like I said when we talked about it, my theory is that he kind of sulked and wanted to strip away all the warmth from it because Amy and Rory were gone and he was depressed. But maybe the TARDIS just occasionally takes in some of his design ideas and throws 95% of them out. But yeah. Anyway, the last one I've got come in, this one comes in from Twitter, from Sambuca Waters. I know there's only 2 on Twitter this week, so I've chosen one. The best Doctor Who that we have ever received. Bonus points for the upside down Jenna Coleman chef's kiss.
It's very good. Yeah.
I had to read that one in
3.
for you. It is a good best Doctor. What's the? I like Jackie's one. Jackie has a solid Doctor Who. At the start of Christmas Invasion. That's a great one.
Get one next week, which I'm very much a fan of.
Really?
As well.
Okay.
Bit of sizzle.
It is a bit of sizzle. Oh, I like it when I'm on the receiving end of sizzles. I like this. I can get really. It's like I'm just a weekly viewer these days. I just know sweeping plot points, and that's about it. Amazing stuff. Well, thank you everyone for writing in, and thank you everyone for listening as well. If you've enjoyed the show, you can give us a little 5-star review. That'd be very cool. You can also follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok at StillGotLegsPod. And if you want to share your thoughts like you just heard on each episode, then the link to join the Discord is in the show notes, or you can email us at stillgotlegspodcast@gmail.com. And also, some thank yous to dish out. Thank you to Nina for managing the short form content, all of the reels and the TikToks and such. And also thank you to Pierce for being the Discord marshal, doing a solid job over there. And if you feel so inclined, we have a Ko-Fi link in the show notes if you want to help us out with the running of both of the shows. Feel zero pressure. Everyone is always welcome to enjoy the episodes for free and forever. And speaking of both shows, Nathan, we have another podcast as well, don't we?
Yes. It's called Another Happy Pod. It's our pop culture podcast where every week we get together, discuss something in that realm. I widowy. Oh, fuck off.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. Widowy. I don't know.
Do you like that you almost doubled down?
We're almost at the end of X Mania. We just have Deadpool and Wolverine to do this week. So tune in and give us a kiss.
Give us a little kiss. That'd be nice. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We will see you next Monday at 10 a.m. Stay beautiful, stay handsome, stay... I don't know, someone else.
Why don't you shut the fuck up?
Oh.
Anyway, bye, everyone. Love you.